Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of The Keel Show here on the Keel YouTube page and everywhere else you can catch us on your favorite podcatchers. Yes, we had problems with our Wi-Fi. Yes, we had technical difficulties, but that's not stopping the show. No, sir, because it is me, your host, Asky, alongside me, the Insiders. Happy holidays, happy holidays. May the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holidays to the insiders. Tyler Keel. It is a peaceful time here.
This is literally how I'm feeling right now. Sad dancing of the sugar plum fairies.
It's not sad.
We got specific Wi-Fi to make this thing work efficiently.
It's fine. You know what? Let's just crack open a cold one for the boys. A holiday original taste Coca-Cola, not sponsored. Should be, though, because we're such a sweet show. Such a refreshing taste.
I will say this.
In the hockey world.
The really cool part about all this is that everyone's making a big... Alex, I'm already seeing, commercials for the Masters for next April. But this, Alex, for us, is a tradition unlike any other. Your Santa Cokes right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Just take a listen.
Oh, yeah. We can take as long as we want today, Alex. Who gives a crap?
That original taste.
Wixie's fine. She's in the kennel. She's eating. She's gone to the bathroom. She's fine for hours because we have no limit tonight.
You're fine.
I
would like to have a limit.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. We don't have to go 2.5 hours because, for those that probably watch,
we don't have to stretch it.
We don't have to worry about talking hours. I mean, we've never really had a limit. We could always go overtime, TKS overtime. But today, since we don't have anything, who cares? I did all this Christmas decorating and stuff like that. Look at all this cool stuff, Alex. Look at that. We got green and red name tags. We got a green and red ticker.
Hey, it's okay.
I got my Rudolph that I created. Here, let me move this.
We tweeted out. We made sure that everyone knew of the situation, and if they want to watch this,
I made this Rudolph, this very happy and special Rudolph, back in. Doesn't have a year on it. A long time ago.
Tyler, he looks like he's got learning problems, like you did.
It was
like I did.
No, that would have been. It's Chet. From
Santa Claus 2.
Santa Claus 2. Well, he was in 3, wasn't he? Did he
well, he was in 3, but his introduction was in 2.
Yes, he was in 2. So
technically, no, Rudolph reindeer was featured in 3.
Yeah. We will say
Chet was in there.
Right.
Because there was the interaction there.
Yes.
Fun fact, when it comes to reindeer, the only reindeer that still have their antlers in
are females.
Yeah.
Yes. And
so Rudolph and all of them are girls.
Which is why people should watch the Christmas Chronicles, the Kurt Russell movies, the ones that the ones that put on Netflix the last couple of years.
Yeah. They're both on there, 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Haven't seen them yet.
I'll say this, not spoiling. 1's better than 2, but they're both really good.
Are they better than the Santa Claus movies, though?
If they had not done a third one, I'll say this. If they stick with 2 with Christmas Chronicles, they'll be great. But with Netflix's money, they're just going to be like, let's do a third one. Because the third one will be great. Because there's never been a bad third movie, Alex. Never, right? Even though, let's be honest, Last Jedi, what was better? Last Jedi,
Hold on. There's always 3.
Because we have Alex, if you're listening on your favorite podcatcher, is wearing his Darth Vader ugly sweater. I am wearing my Larry the Llama ugly sweater. And my Santa toque.
There's always 3. There is the original trilogy.
No, Alex. If you're a real understanding of the Jedi, there's always 2. There's never always 3. There's always 2. Because remember, that's
Sith Lords,
and you're wearing Darth
episodes of Star Wars. There's always 3. There's the original trilogy,
but that's
prequels, and the sequels.
Fine. How about this? Let's go with this. And I think we can all get rid of this right now. Of the originals, the prequels, and the sequels, which of those trilogies has the best third movie?
Best third movie?
I will die on the hill of Revenge of the Sith. I will die on that hill.
So the prequels.
Prequels would be out of all the the prequels had the best because they had Revenge of the Sith. Return of the Jedi was great. I think Last Jedi for me is better than Rise of Skywalker. I'm close on that one. I'll say this: both of those are better than Force Awakens.
Ben Solo shouldn't have died in Rise of Skywalker.
That was sad. They just made it. Wait.
What?
Hold on. I think. Wait. Well,
it's not a spoiler anymore.
Right. About to say I've already been spoiled on Mandalorian at this point.
Don't. I have purposely.
I've been on Facebook, Alex, and it's ruined me forever.
I have purposely not watched certain TikToks because I saw.
Oh, I haven't watched any TikToks. I'm sweating my balls off in this thing, by the way.
You're fine.
You're wearing 2 shirts, sweatpants. I'm really wearing shorts under this.
Yeah, because it's cold in here. My feet are freezing.
I'm about to die.
Well, you're fine.
About to die.
I feel bad for your wife. Her poor
That's
feet.
funny. She's like, you can turn the heat off, right? And I'm like, I turned it off an hour and a half ago. Actually, we had it off for 2 whole days, Alex, before today. And then Kelly got cold today. The day that she knew I was going to wear my Santa toque and my ugly sweater, because this thing is thick wool.
It's not her fault that you frickin' have a high frickin'
tolerance for cold.
heat.
High tolerance for anything.
You have a heat core that I would love to put in my car.
Yeah.
But before we move on any further, and even though this is a quite peculiar show, we shall do the normal sugar-doo-doo.
Well, we got to think. I think we only have one to thank tonight, since we're only on our own network. We only have one to thank.
We are only on our own network, but we must do our sugar-doo-doo loo-ba-loo. Right? Right.
For the most part. I mean, well.
Hashtag TKS at the Q
this
Show
part,
on.
This part of the show.
Yes, Tyler. Shut up!
I was trying to make sure you didn't read all
I'm going off the rails here. It's our show, and I'm going for it.
You're going for it?
Hashtag TKS at the Keel Show on Twitter and Facebook. If you're on Twitter, that's how you found out that, hey, we're having problems, and we're doing a weird show tonight on the Christmas version of the Keel Show.
Should we text Dad and tell him? Because I'm pretty sure he's waiting for us on Facebook.
He's fine.
I'll just text him right now. Just let him know, hey, we're not doing it live tonight. Sorry.
Hashtag TKS at the Keel Show on Twitter and Facebook. If you have any questions, hit us up in the comments or message us on either Facebook or Twitter. We will do our very best to answer those questions either via those social media outlets or we'll do it on the show.
Yeah, you can always go on there and be like, hey, we heard this on the show last night. I have a question. Or, you can always comment on the video, or you could just, go at us on Facebook. I mean, technically you can
go because
you
here's
can tag
the
us
thing.
in Instagram posts, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
You can add us. You can tag us in posts. We do have that allowed on our social media stuff. But today's show is brought to you by none other than Second String Leather Company.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah! Crafted from the crease.
All sorts
Collection
of good stuff.
number 7 is live. Gear from Darren Pang, Trevor Kidd, and none other than Kevin Weeks. Weeksy!
Weeksy!
Not Wixie, Weeksy.
Weeksy. See, that would have made sense if I had
He's
named
on he's on the NHL network, right? He's still there, right?
I don't know. The NHL Network, God forbid, that was on any, YouTube TV or Hulu TV.
SecondStringLeatherCompany.com, the
Well, I
only
gotta
place to
bootleg
get
the
all
World
that
Juniors.
good stuff. Second String Leather Company. Hashtag Crafted from the Crease.
Hello, we're crafting from the crease.
Make sure to check out our own merchandise as well.
Oh.
Teespring.com. Make sure I get this right. Teespring.com/stores/The Keel Show. Dashes where the spaces should be in The Keel Show. Teespring.com/stores/The Keel Show.
I made sure I got it this time. Almost forgot last week.
It's the best Christmas present that you won't be getting by Christmas if you order now.
Unfortunately, it does take a little bit because they're custom, Alex.
That is true.
They're
Custom, high quality. Well, not necessarily high quality, but good quality. Good quality.
Like Cody Jansen.
Not exceptional.
Cody
but
Jansen
good.
he'll get a New Year's gift. He'll get a new gift for New Year.
Hey, you know what? If you want to get a nice little present for your sweetheart, you got a lot of time before Valentine's Day. Some
Get
nice,
yourself get her a
nice
hoodie,
TKS
crew neck,
leggings
leggings.
for your gal, or for your guy, you can get a nice crew
Apparently,
neck sweater. I personally love mine.
Saggy boyfriend sweater is apparently a thing. Sarah got one of those.
Honestly,
She did.
that's good style.
And
It's hot. It's
here's the
fire.
crazy thing we never mention, Alex, and I should mention this more often.
Okay.
If you ever want something personalized, because there's a lot of things you can get on Teespring, not just clothing, like little trinkets, little gifts.
Sure.
Let us know. We'll create it for you. Shoot, that's how I created the
True.
slouchy boyfriend sweater. That's what it's called. That's how I got it for Sarah because she wanted a blue one, and I
Your
got her a blue one.
own TKS merchandise? Heck, we should make a TKS jersey.
I don't think they do sweaters.
Well, jersey, like a jersey,
A long
a
sleeve shirt
t-shirt,
that looks like a jersey?
a jersey, like a shirt jersey.
You
A
mean
jersey.
so like the Detroit Red Wings, what they're doing? So like exactly what they're doing.
Sure.
We'll get to that later on in the show, more or less.
So let's get into the thick of it here, the actual part of the show, the stuff that actually matters, if you will. Starting off the top, the NHL's return to play, the 2021 season. That is right. There's no 2020-21 season. No, 2021.
Even though my editors at the Hockey Writers tell me different. But I digress.
Technically, it is only played in the year 2021, so that's what I'm calling it. It is a 56-game season. This is per Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman. This is going to be on the start date of January 13th. This is a tentative start date, so the day is not entirely finalized, but the NHL has released, by the way, NHL Public Relations has released certain information regarding the divisions as well as personal statements from Gary Bettman himself.
The 13th is we're going for it.
Yes.
There is every plan in place. I always talk about, Alex, how the schedules are being put together. Like there's someone out there, there's probably a group of people working on putting schedules saying, all right, if we play 56 games starting this day, if we play 52 games, we play 48 games, we're playing until late July, playing into early July. There are plans going every which way. There are plans if we have to play in hubs, there's probably plans for playing in cities. There's dates for makeup games and all this stuff that's being worked out to make sure that we have a full season. Because like I said, 56 games. You finish.
Yeah, I'll keep going, and then we'll get into it a little bit more. So the important dates that you're going to need to keep in mind. So January 13th is the start of the season. So 10 years earlier, though, January 3rd is going to be the beginning of training camp for all teams, with a trade deadline of April 12th, end of the regular season by May 8th. So all 56 games by all teams have to be played by that date. There is no end of a playoffs date. Currently, it's projected to be July 15th or 22nd. The date for teams to submit a protected list for the expansion draft is July 17th. The expansion draft will concur on July 21st. The entry draft will be on the 23rd and 24th of July, with free agency opening up on July 28th. So, with that in mind, let's look at the divisions that will be playing in the regular season. Now,
before we break this down, because they're pretty much the ones that were already rumored, but we'll get, because the Canadian division is obviously the big talking point here, Alex. But
that is true.
The 56 games.
Okay.
I am tough about this, Alex, because remember the 2013 year. The first game of that season was started on January the 19th, and they played a 48-game schedule. If I'm not mistaken. 48. They didn't play a full season. They played just over half. Not as this many games. And they ended in late June, in July. They ended up playing a shortened year. And I get it. You want to play as many games as possible, get the schedules right. But I like the idea of playing less games right now just for this year, Alex, to make sure that you have time. Like if you played 48 games, it gives you more time between now and the supposed July 15th, July 22nd-ish. They haven't determined that yet. End date for the playoffs. Now, but obviously there's, like I said, the league brass and the league, the players, Alex, have confirmed this. The players, the PA has agreed on it. That's the big part in all this. If the players said, no, there's not enough time or whatever, then that's one thing. Because you're looking at a 2-month playoff, just like normal. But here's the kicker. You're going to be looking at possibly having a bubble for the playoffs again to ensure that the playoffs get done on time.
Right, and I think that's honestly a good thing.
That hasn't been determined yet, but that's just my observation. In this.
It's a good idea. It's going to be at least to a similar extent to what the initial plans for the regular season are. So just quick maths for everyone that's paying attention at home.
Quick maths? I'm going to take my
January 13th to the end of regular season date, May 8th. That's roughly about 16 and a half weeks. So
did you just count that, or you just take a wild guess?
No, I did all the Google math. So I typed in how many days between this divided by 7, and then you take that. And
I was going to go on the fact that typically every month has 4 weeks except for February. So you're about right, though.
Yep. So roughly 16 and a half weeks is going to be the extent of the regular season. So you take that, and you're looking at, with 56 games in mind, at least 3 games a week.
Yes.
So it's like 3.34 repeating or whatever with the whole math. So at least 3 games a week for all teams, which is quite easy to do. But that's going to be going with the new divisions. So let's start. I'll go down them, and then we'll talk about the Northern Division, a.k.a. the Canadian Division. So starting in the East, you have the normal ones: Boston, Buffalo, New Jersey, the Islanders, the Rangers, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Washington. So that's going to have...
Poor Buffalo.
Yeah,
well,
so
actually,
you have
I don't know.
you have both New York teams, the New Jersey team, which I kind of consider to be New
You have the
York.
tri-state teams,
You have the
tri-city
tri-state.
teams, whatever you want to call
You
them.
have Pennsylvania covered, Boston and Buffalo. I honestly thought that Buffalo was going to be more towards the central, but I mean, it makes sense with
Buffalo?
Yeah.
No.
But I mean, technically, it's still a...
Listen, this is not the
Well,
St. Louis.
technically, if we think about
Okay,
it,
yes, Alex.
Buffalo
just
is a New York team.
Just because St. Louis is in the West does not mean we're going to make a
Why
dumb
isn't
exception.
Why isn't there more of a rivalry between any of the New York teams and Buffalo?
Because Buffalo's not good anymore. Remember that Buffalo Ranger series back in 2007, Alex? That was intense. That Rangers team.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, that was a really good series. That was the year Sean Avery pissed off Marty Brodeur. That was when the Rangers went through. They went through New Jersey and they played Buffalo.
That was New Jersey and the Rangers, though.
But then it went to the Buffalo series, which ended up being a great series in general. Buffalo ended up winning that, then losing to Ottawa in the next round. But it's just because Buffalo, if Buffalo was better, Buffalo and Toronto, just at this point,
that should be a T-shirt. If Buffalo was better, blank.
Hey, AFC East champs, man.
Dude, I don't want to hear Bills Mafia talking.
Listen.
AFC East. You still have an AFC West to go through, and then
No. There's not an AFC West. It's Mahomes and the rest of that division.
AFC West, and then you have to take on who's the best of the NFC. I don't want to hear it. Anywho,
Brady versus.
dude, that team sucks since Brady got there. They were better last year.
No, they weren't.
Don't even talk to
They're
me.
not even in
They
the playoff. Okay, whatever. You know what? Not talking football.
Central Division,
Yep, the Wi-Fi definitely sucks because it just puckered out again.
the best division.
The best division?
I would say, honestly, or at least the most fun. Let's say the most fun.
No, Alex, because we'll get to the other division here in a minute. Why it will be fun if it happens.
The most fun division, the Central Division. So we have Carolina, Chicago, Columbus, Dallas, Detroit.
Detroit.
You
You ever heard Bob Cole? Detroit.
Well, that's not how you say it.
Listen,
It's either Detroit or Detroit because it's
the River, the Riviere, Detroit Riviere.
Detroit.
It'd be Riviere Detroit. Detroit.
Oh my goodness. Do we have to go over this again? No. Florida, Nashville, and Tampa Bay, the reigning, defending, undisputed world champions of hockey.
Going literally just that.
Guess what?
Chicken butt.
They still suck.
Tampa.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad Tampa's going to be unless they have a complete dismantle before the
Let's see
season
if
starts.
Stamkos actually plays. Let's see.
Why would he?
I don't know.
He's
got his cup.
I'll
technically.
say this, Alex. People forget Mario Lemieux did not play in the 94-95 lockout year. The shortened season.
Because he was retired, wasn't he?
No, he's retired in 97, but his back was so bad he just said, I don't want to play.
I mean, a lot of people are.
So if you're Stamkos, get 100% healthy.
I mean, a lot of players in a lot of other leagues have decided to just not play.
Right. Because there is that opt-out, too, and I believe that's in a week. Players
Yeah,
can opt
that's
out.
the deadline. So,
To opt out, yeah.
So, we'll talk about later. Henrik Lundqvist decided to opt out, obviously because.
Well,
of
that was
medical-
more of.
It was.
yes.
We'll get into it.
We'll get to it.
But so that's the East and Central. The West is the Anaheim Ducks, Arizona, Colorado, Los Angeles, Minnesota, San Jose, St. Louis, and the Vegas Golden Knights. The North, a.k.a. the Canadian Division, is Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, Vancouver, and Winnipeg. Now, before you say anything, I'll get you started, and I'll let you go with it for a little bit.
Well, what's the next part of this?
I'm talking about that.
Well, apparently, Alex. So it's obviously because we can just pick. I mean, we're not going to I believe, so technically next year, we'll do our picks for who gets out of the division alive, right? Each division alive.
Right.
Right now, the big story, of course, is the Canadian division. Because it seems like the money's squared away. Players are okay with whatever they have to give up. I haven't heard the official number yet, have you?
No.
I have not.
I have not heard from it.
But
my good buddy Frege.
Even if that's the case, the players are okay with whatever they have to give up at this point. So
there has been an agreement that it's not been disclosed yet.
yes, on the official number. I believe it's still 10%. But I could be wrong. Unfortunately, there's going to be no breaking news in the show, and even if it is breaking, you won't hear about it until tomorrow.
Right.
Which is Tuesday. But I am curious because the big story is what is going with the Canadian division. Because they are... Here's the difference, Alex, between Canada and the United States. Michigan, I like to think Michigan has done a...
Should I pull out the banjo?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'll mention them in a second. But Michigan has done a admirable job. They've been pretty strict, Alex. We're still under an epidemic order right now.
Big Gretch.
Big Gretch, which was a beer, by the way, that sold out in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, because she's phenomenal.
She's Big Gretch.
She didn't win Person of the Year.
She's been on our morning show like 15 times in the last month. But anyways, not our morning, like the company, the radio station. Anyways, so, but you know that's why we're not playing hockey. That's why I'm pretty sure I'm not going to broadcast it all this year for Davenport, and you're not, and you're still getting paid by Greener for now.
Paid, sure. Let's call it that.
You get paid. You get paid more. Okay, this is not
the pay.
This is not a knock on any of our sponsors.
No,
you get paid more than we do on this show.
That's fair.
That's fair enough. I'd like to think that's fair enough.
No, my payment is I can put it on my resume.
That is your pay. It's like me on the show. I have hosting experience on the sports talk show. I have a podcast. Then again, I feel like saying you have a podcast nowadays. It's just like, oh, it's like an ugly redhead stepchild of radio.
No, it's kind of gotten over that phase. Now it's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, listen, I like my bank account to reflect that, Alex. But anyways, so as you go further south in the United States, it turns into a little bit of a dumpster fire. As we all saw yesterday, Alex, Miami doesn't care about anything because the Florida Panthers are going to have limited capacity. To which I said, hey, so that's pretty much new because, yes, the South. The South. Let's put it this way, folks. When Dallas was in that cup run, they had fans in American Airlines Center.
They put fans in the stands.
But here's the thing. It was socially distant and whatever.
America!
And also because it was Texas. But go across the border northbound.
It's bigger, Texas.
With the exception of the Prairie States. And that's not a knock on them. That's the Prairie States. They don't have much of the banjo. Loverboy's from Calgary. Loverboy's not from Calgary. Who's from
they kind of do.
Sheepdogs from out west.
People got to realize, Americans have to realize, Canadians also have
Hicks. Letterkenny starts in less than a week, Alex.
Blue provinces and red provinces.
Conservative and liberals, yes. Conservatives and liberals.
It's just how it is. So, whip. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I'm sorry. Jing, janga, jinga, janga, jing, 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 jing.
But, so, Alberta and Manitoba, home of the Winnipeg Jets, are okay with playing. And I presume Saskatchewan would be a possible spot if they had to give approval, because Saskatchewan would probably want it as well. The three provinces that are the big issue right now are British Columbia, Ontario, and Quebec. British Columbia, once again, similar to Michigan, as Michigan's turn, very liberal, and they don't feel like it's safe right now to travel.
Yes.
Even though at this point you could still travel in and out of the province.
Well,
hold on.
Okay.
Ontario, Alex, starting on Boxing Day, which is good for, the ratings of the World Junior Championships, is going under a lockdown at 12:01 Saturday morning after Christmas. So they're literally telling people, all right, get your Christmas out of you, get your traveling out of you, because come Boxing Day, you're sitting home, which is literally true.
It's not.
Because Ontario's cases keep going.
You get Christmas.
You get Christmas, but after that, hey, like I said, those World Junior ratings, man, oh boy, they're going to be raking them in. TSN is going to be making millions of dollars.
They're not holding the World Juniors in Ontario, so
well,
everyone's going to be inside anyways.
I'd say there's going to be no fans in Edmonton. We'll get to those in a minute. Quebec was one of the few that had really bad issues because they weren't necessarily controlling it. And then again, a lot of places weren't doing a good job right away, of course, as we've learned now, which is why it's such a big deal in Britain that there's a second strain coming. We're never going to work here, boys and girls. So, anyways, that's why Those 3 provinces have a big issue with it because they kind of addressed it. Because let's be honest, like I said, the prairie states, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. Outside of the big cities, Alex, not a lot of people. Okay?
That's how it is in the United States as well. I mean, if you think about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Montana, that's why Montana has no restrictions because they're outside of Rapid City, or not Rapid City, like South Dakota, sorry. Montana as
it's
well.
It's also just one of those things where even in states like Michigan, there's a huge gray dead area. There's still so much like
Gaylord.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Brown? You ever heard of Brown, Michigan?
Tyler, what is there really on the drive between Cadillac and Grand Rapids? What is there really?
The highway,
There's Big Rapids.
Big Rapids, the highway to get off to go to Saginaw, which is a big fat bunch of nothing anyways.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of trees. A lot of woods.
You've driven across M46. There is no trees out there.
There's plenty of trees driving up to Cadillac. Who are you talking about?
No, up to Cadillac. I'm talking across to Saginaw.
Oh, well, that don't count because that's prime wind country. That's where we get our energy.
That's where we get the windmills.
No, but the
anyways,
whole point is
back to hockey.
The whole point is that in all states and provinces or whatever, outside of the main hubs or the main cities, whatever you want to call them, there's farmland because that's what people run on. That's how economies work.
The difference is between Ontario, it's because there's Ottawa, the surrounding areas, Toronto, Kitchener-Waterloo, the border cities, and Windsor. And
Ontario
Falls,
does, yes, they do have
There's
lot more
municipalities. Municipalities? Would that be the word?
Yes.
Plural for municipal. Municipal areas. There we go. I guess
it's municipalities. Yeah.
Yeah, I was right. Okay, I was making sure I wasn't Dr. Seuss in it.
You're right. You're good.
But there is more of those. But if there's people in Red Deer right now, hey, I'm like, listen, guys, okay.
Red Deer.
You guys were okay. Red Deer was the second city in the World Junior Tournament pros. Okay, just calm yourself. So.
Let's get back to hockey.
That was part of hockey. Red
It only took 2 minutes.
What?
It only took 2 minutes.
What 2 minutes? What
that whole spiel.
Anyways, so that's the problem. Now, Ontario Premier Doug Ford enacted it today. That's where we found out about the news. Or excuse me, today, Monday, enacted prepared everyone for the lockdown, the shutdown, because they've been in a little bit of a lockdown themselves recently. If you guys follow one of our friends, Digit Murphy, on Instagram, she posts all this stuff every day, lockdown day, whatever. But they'll be traveling. The Toronto Six will be traveling soon to Lake Placid. They'll start a week after the NHL, as of right now, for their playoffs and season. But so they've been going through this for a while. Now it's going to be dang near a complete and utter shutdown of the province. So, but he has not officially said anything about will the teams be able to play. Now, this is where it gets interesting now, because there was initially at one point where because each province was so they had their own views points, that there was talk that the Canadian division may move down into a hub or may have to move down south. Now, not for the entire year, though, because obviously you don't want to have families have to move into the United States for a season, even though it's, like I said, a shortened year. Why would you want to move down in the States for 6 months?
Right, that is a huge thing.
Because taxes.
But hold on, though. But a huge thing that we need to keep in mind is that there is a little bit of leeway, a little bit of room. States like Michigan, because we talk about Michigan a lot because we're from here, we know a lot about what's going on here.
Do you not see the fact that I have Chris Osgood over here and
you have Gordie Howe right there?
Well,
technically it's not his number, but
that's a Toronto banner, but
well, it's Gordie Howe, whatever.
I got Tom Brady over there in the Michigan jersey. I got Al Montoya over there, and Kelly's got
Steve Eisman right there. MSU, whatever. Anywho, in the state of Michigan, there's no sports allowed except for professional sports and certain
major college sports that have already started,
aka University of Michigan, Michigan State, bigger schools.
Actually, I think
Western Michigan still has theirs going. Central is.
They're going Division I programs. That's why Ferris, Lake State, Northern Michigan, Michigan Tech, their hockey teams are playing because they're Division II, but they have Division I programs because the rest of the country's starting. That's why our football teams, our basketball teams, nowhere in sight. Well, football is not going to happen. Tell Sparky that. Just tell him bluntly, it's not going to happen.
Hey, at least we won't have a losing season.
Hey-o! Hey, end of the year 500, 0-0.
But moral of the story, I think that we should be positive about this. The one thing I will say about the one thing about the Canadian division that I really want to put focus on, and the one thing that I think there's just a lot of bad juju going around this one team. It's Vancouver, because specifically British Columbia has issues with teams playing games and then the traveling out, and then you have then you have the whole movement of people trying to have them, change the logo because the whole like indigenous kind of.
Oh, Braden Holtby's mask, yes, because it was an indigenous mask, indigenous design done by a non-indigenous person. That's why they're redoing the mask with indigenous.
But they want to change the logo.
Why the logo? It's a whale.
Because apparently the whale, the face of the whale, has ties to indigenous cultures. I guess I haven't really looked into that, but that's basically what the headlines have read. Is that a reason why they're doing that is because that. So maybe they might just redesign it by an indigenous artist, which I'm okay with because then it'd be a fresh look on the old logo. Honestly, I'm kind of okay with that if they just change the logo. Because, think about it. The team name, the quote-unquote mascot, Canucks, it's a slur.
It's a slur, yes.
It's a slur. But
you dumb Canuck. Well, yeah. Todd Bertuzzi, a dumb Canuck.
But since
see what I did there?
It is not based on race or gender or anything like that, it's technically okay.
You see, you didn't even. I had a
yes,
great joke.
yes, I got it. I got it.
But you didn't. You didn't react to it. Okay.
I didn't acknowledge it.
You should acknowledge it.
No.
Acknowledge. Remember Thad Castle from Blue Mountain State?
Yes, I remember.
Okay. Acknowledge. There's probably 2 people out there that got that joke because that show was so long ago. It's been over a decade, Alex, since that show's happened. Anyway, let's look at Alex possibilities here quickly.
About the places that Vancouver could go, or the places that the Canadian
everybody
division
can go. Everybody, because here's the funny thing, Alex. You talk about because the NHL is trying to just
all right, challenge accepted.
Well, it's got to be in Canada, obviously.
Does it have to be in Canada?
I believe for the Canadian division's purpose, so you can have Edmonton, because obviously Edmonton and Calgary is going to play in their barns. Winnipeg's going to play in their barn, and what have you. What the league is trying now. Listen, guys.
So wait. My question is because I'm about to actually go into this, and I'm going to prove the positives
Canadian
and negatives
cities.
of it.
Only in Canada, where can these guys go?
These guys, you mean like the Canucks, or are you talking about the Canadian division?
Canucks, Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal. What are the scenarios that can happen now between this episode, folks, and the start of the year? Because
Edmonton hub again.
Hold on,
part 2.
We'll get there.
Money.
That'll be that'll be one of yours. Because here's the thing: between now and training camp, because they can still do training camp, Alex, in their own barns in January. January 3rd, the Leafs can be in Toronto, Ottawa, and Canada, because it's not Ottawa.
If they're not still under lockdown.
No, they're pro teams, Alex. They get the exception.
Do they?
The Toronto Six has been practicing over the lockdown. They're allowed to practice. Right. They're allowed to practice. The thing is with them traveling in and out of the province, even though you can do that if you're a normal person. Regardless, between now and the start of the season, all the governments could buy in. The NHL could sell it and be fine with it. Because what they're saying is, hey, guys, every team in Canada flies charter. You go from the rink, bus to the airport. Not even the airport. You don't even go through the main terminal. You go through a private terminal. You fly to whatever city you got to go to. So Toronto's got to fly to Winnipeg. They got to fly to Calgary, whatever. Fly in there. Go from there to either the rink or the hotel that has been designated by the league, and the league is agreed upon. So they're pretty much setting up bubbles within the cities that each team's going to. So Calgary's got to go to Toronto, Alex. They fly into Pearson. Pearson, they go to Royal York Hotel they did for the bubble. They go right to there, okay? Go right from there to Scotiabank Arena. That's all you got to do. There's nothing more to that. They're not going to the Tims. Yes, the food is made for them. They're going to be literally eating out of the buffet pans the entire year, Alex. They're not going to be going over to...
Well, they won't be allowed out. They won't be allowed to the buffet. They'll have to have the food brought to them. If it's going to be like a true bubble.
Well, I mean, like how they had the hotel, like they had the conference rooms scheduled out so they could eat at certain times. Like, when you go to a backyard barbecue.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. It's
because they're gonna block it off certainly.
But every time, every game,
every road game, Like players when they go home, I'm sure they'll be able to eat at home.
Every game's a road game. Every game's a road game for somebody.
What I'm saying is, but
so
like
you're
if
gonna set up-
the Leafs are in Toronto, they'd be at their own homes and whatnot. They won't be able to go out. At least there'll be restrictions, I would presume. There'll be intensive testing. But that's what the league's trying to do. Now, say, Alex, let's just do the stories here. Let's just kind of play around with this idea. Say the
So you're going to set up 196 bubbles.
Okay, listen, I'm not the one determining this, Alex. I don't work for the league. I'm just telling you what's probably going to happen. What the league is trying to convince the players what's going to... Because listen, I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to do a bubble for the entire year. Unless... the only reason that would ever happen, Alex, is if the players were paid full compensation to leave their families or leave their homes to sit in a bubble for the entire year. That'd be the only reason why. Don't say that number.
I'm just saying, if let's be generous with every bubble.
Don't say it.
$3,000, just $3,000. So that's for paying for all the stuff and all the.
Alex, let's not try to do financial numbers. It's different. First of all, the dollar's different in Canada. Secondly, we don't know what's going to happen.
It's just over.
Let's just think what's going to happen.
U.S. I'm just saying.
I am just saying that you are wrong.
And I'm just saying that if you're gonna have a Canadian division, if you have,
I'm just saying you got to find a time not wear a ball cap on the show.
What's wrong with my ball cap? This is my signature now. I wear this.
Your plain Jane Gray.
Yeah,
faded.
I literally bought this hat at Meijer.
Alex,
for $6.
If you weren't on a show and not wearing an ugly sweater, I thought you'd be a painter.
That's fine. I wear this hat.
I don't know. What do painters wear now?
I literally wear this hat so much.
1940s painter. What?
I wear this hat on this show. I wear it when we're at practice. I wear it in my personal life. It's a nice hat.
I don't know.
What's wrong with it?
Chat, what do you think? Do you think he looks like a painter to you? So, but let's think of what would happen here, Alex. What if, for some reason, just say the Ontario government, Quebec government, British Columbia, like, no NHL.
Okay.
You say one bubble, at least for a little bit.
I say one bubble Edmonton because they've done it and they know how to do it. Done.
And this is probably the best part about the World Junior Tournament ending in early January and the NHL starting after, because you don't have to worry about the crossover there. You don't have to worry about that problem right now. Literally, the training camp will start as World Juniors are ending for Edmonton, so they'll be able to practice somewhere else. So,
right there.
So you say bubble.
Yes, I do.
For, we'll say, half the season, say 28 games. Just so, like what the NCHC just finished up, Alex. They finished up that today.
Yep.
They're all playing in Omaha.
So that'd be 28 games, roughly about eight or so weeks.
And hell, Alex, if you want to limit travel, have all the teams. I know it's 7, so it'll be a little bit tough. Winnipeg will have to be that buffer team. Have Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, play Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. Play all those games, get those out of the way, and split your games with Winnipeg, because Winnipeg will have to be the kind of the in-between team, right? Because they're the most central team.
So you're saying like the quote unquote Canada East plays Canada West the entire time.
So in a 56 game schedule, they play each team 9 or 10 times. So I would presume they play their respective regional teams 10 times, and then every team out in the western side 9. Right? That'd be 30, 27. That would give me 57. So you'd play, something like that, right? Close. So I don't know exact numbers would be, but that's what the NCHC did. They took their 8 teams, they split them in half.
But that's saying that the teams only play within their division.
In the second part of the season. In this, they're not their division, their region, because obviously it's already.
Wait, hold on, just so I get this straight, the 56 game season.
Yes.
All of the regular season games are played within division.
Within the division, yes. No, you're never going to see Detroit, Toronto. You're not going to see, St. Louis play Boston. None of that.
Just making sure. Yeah. Just making sure that we're all on the same page here.
So that's how I believe the bubble would be a great way to utilize it, because you don't want to, like I said, you don't want to have everyone move to Edmonton for 6 months. That's stupid. Like I said, you're already going to have the playoffs. I'm knocking wood. I am dang near guaranteeing that you're going to have to do bubbles for the playoffs again. Now, here's the thing, too. The playoffs, the first 2 rounds will be played within the division. We're going old school, Alex. We're going Adams Division, Norris Division, Smythe Division, Pacific Division. I think it's all 4 of them. That's how it used to be. Top 4 from each. You wouldn't play another team from the other division in the playoffs until afterwards. I thought there was another one.
No,
Norris, Adams,
Norris,
Patrick
Adams.
Division. There's a Patrick division, which I believe was the Pacific Division. Patrick, Smythe, Norris, Adams, okay? Because Adams is what the Whalers and Bruins were in. The Norris was the Leafs.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what would happen. It'd be old school hockey, boys. That's why it's so important to have the Battle of Alberta, Alex. You want to see Zach Kassian and Milan Lucic. Wait, Milan Lucic plays for Edmonton now. He plays for Calgary. Yeah, let's see them kill each other 10 times this season. Dude, it's going to be great.
No, if anything, it's going to be Zach Kassian and Keith Kachuk, and then Lucci's
Matthew Kachuk.
Whatever.
Keith Kachuk's just going to cross the border somehow. And come big Walt running over the border. Watch. I thought
something come out?
I thought so. Anyways, so Alex, that's why you think the bubble would happen.
Yes.
All right. Not a bad idea. Because I think that would probably be the easiest, given the fact that the NHL's done it before, and you don't have to do it the entire year.
Right. They
you could literally do that in a 2-month span. 28 games in 2 months.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Purely on the basis that they know the arena, they know the staff, they know how to work with the people there, they know how to set up a bubble that's effective. They already have relations with the local.
You really don't have to set. Dude, just imagine this. All right, guys, World Juniors Part 2. You don't have to change anything. Just sanitize everything. And repaint.
Basically, yeah.
And repaint the ice, of course.
Well, yes,
but that doesn't take that long.
But
there's technology.
That's honestly that's all it could. That's why I'm saying a bubble would work. Even if it was one of those things where, because you bring up the idea that the bubble, you could do it for half the season, and for the rest of the season, you do it elsewhere. If it came down to it, and everything, worst case scenario, do the bubble. Times 2. So have a bubble, then have an in-between period where everyone gets to go home, relax with their families, whatever. Come back, bubble part 2.
Because that's tough for me, Alex. Because here's the thing: because then you're really gonna have to compress the schedule in that time. So the players come playoff time are gonna be just dog tired, and then they're gonna have to play each other again for 2 more rounds, and then they're gonna have to go down to the States because, hopefully.
What's 1 week off though?
1 week, I don't know. I would like to think that's how they would do it.
If you compress the games down, similar to what they did in the playoffs with the bubbles, where you have games that literally start at like 10 a.m. and you go all the way through the day, then I'm sure you could get 20. I'm sure you could get 28 games in the matter of 3 weeks, and then have a week-long period where everyone can go home, or a week and a half. Yeah. So, like, you can go home, hang up, be with your families, then come back, make sure that everyone's good, test negative, all that good stuff. Another 3 weeks.
Well, players are going to test them out every day.
Hold on.
We're going to test them out every day.
Then you come back, do that for however long, and then you have a break before playoffs. And then a week before playoffs where you come back.
Yeah. It could work, Alex.
It could.
But I would prefer just to cut it in half, and then at that point, hopefully at that point, maybe the numbers go down because it'll be way after the holidays.
Maybe. But you know what the one problem
Knock on wood.
You know what the one problem...
For those that want to work, fire, we salute you.
The one problem with that, though, and I think the Canadian division teams would make a point of this, the one problem with that idea, that the Canadian teams would be in a bubble and the rest of the NHL would not.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm just looking
would be the argument that by the end of the day, the teams with the last few games, are playing on crappy ice.
Well, yeah, that's just like how it was in the playoffs, though.
Right. But would it be an inherent disadvantage to the performance of those teams, either on a statistical level or a level competition, to be playing on an ice surface that is deemed of less quality than on the surface of their American counterparts? Do you think that argument would come up? Because I personally think they would, because it's one of those things that in competition, everyone looks for an edge.
196 games in probably, a 2-month span? I'm really doing this freehand because I'm an idiot.
20. Are you saying 28 times 7? Or are you saying... Yeah, 28 games by 7 teams is 196. And you divide that by, let's say, let's say a 2-month span. So that's 61 days. Unless you're in February, and then you end up having to,
160, that'd be 40. So you're looking at a little over 3 games a day.
Yeah. They've done it before.
I'm about to say 3 games a day is not awful.
No. If you think about it, you start at 10 a.m. How long does a game usually go? About 2 hours.
Hold on.
2 hours with all intermission and such? About 2 hours?
You could do 12, 4, and 8 every day. Just give 4 hours for time for overtime. I mean, it's only going to be regulation.
No, but think about it. Think about it. 10 a.m.
10 a.m. local time, by the way.
10 a.m. Yes. 10 a.m. local time.
Not 10 a.m. here, because
no, that'd be awful. No, 10 a.m. local time.
8 a.m. boys, just like you did back when you were an Adam, or Squirts if you were here.
10 a.m. local time. Then you'd have a
1 o'clock,
a 3 o'clock,
or
game.
no,
3 o'clock. Hold on.
and then 10. Yeah, 5 hours, and then 8 o'clock.
Then you have an 8 o'clock game, because then it would give time for the ice.
Because you can cut the ice, you can flood it twice, make sure it's all. Yeah, it's not the worst
Did we
idea.
just solve it?
No, we didn't.
Did we just solve it potentially?
Alex,
maybe?
we
I
put a
don't
bunch of this effort into it, and guess what? It's not going to happen.
know. It could though. Honestly,
Gary Bettman's going to walk it. Well, Doug Ford, I believe, out of all, out of all the provinces,
we're manifesting into the
this
world.
may get a lot of heat.
3 games a week, or 3 games a day.
3 games a
10
week.
a.m.
It
Then we
is
have
2024,
3
and we're
and
just
then we
finishing up
have
the 2021
8 o'clock.
season.
8 o'clock game local time, because then think about it.
No, Alex, your idea is great. I'm just saying,
When's
it's
the
just
game
not,
start Eastern time?
I'm just
then?
going to say it's not going
It
to happen.
starts when?
It would start at noon, 5, and 10. What I'm saying is this, Alex.
Let me tell you something.
Out of the 3 provinces, Ontario, believe it or not, I believe would be the easiest one to convince, because that's just Doug Ford. Doug Ford was one of the first guys to come out and say, we still want to play. We want the NHL to play. Right. Even as bad as the numbers were for COVID in the Greater Toronto area and the province as a whole, they still want. There is still an effort being put in place to play. That's why he didn't say anything today. He didn't say anything today because he can say, yes, I mean, he can give you the whole hockey. Well, we just want, we want everyone to play. We want the Leafs and Senators to play. We want to have hockey in the province, blah, 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 blah.
Sure.
Which is the easy answer to do, which is everyone says, oh, it's the hockey answer. Well, any person in power, it's when people say stuff out, people say outlandish things. That's when I was like, holy cow, that's newsworthy. Coming from someone who works in news radio. Anyways, Quebec, this is not saying, Alex, Quebec and British Columbia we're not going to play. They just want to make sure everything's finalized so there is not any more of a spread in their provinces. Because each province is, obviously the good of Canada, but they want to make sure that their province is safe and, healthy and they don't have any issues. Who's texting us?
Don't worry about it. There's a group chat.
Okay. Anyways, why are they complaining that we're not live?
No.
Okay. I was about to say, I thought I already texted enough people that. So there is a lot of time. Like we said, it's less than a month until the season's supposed to start. But it's good for, like I said, the people that are working to create the schedules, they are trying to figure that out in case something happens. They're probably in contact with teams like, all right, guys, here's what may have to happen. Here's what may need to happen. Here's what we may have to do if your governments don't allow you to play. Okay? That's what may happen. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people going on saying, all right, how are we going to convince these people to let these guys play and let them travel? That's what they're doing. There's a lot of pieces going on that we don't know about, and by golly, Alex, I said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm glad I'm not Bettman. This is one of the few times, Alex, in his tenure that I say I could not do a better job than he is.
Honestly, that'd be one part of, if I worked in the NHL league offices, that's something I'd love to do.
You'd want to try to be crisis.
No, I'd work in scheduling.
Yeah, scheduling, or what's it called? Crisis management.
Sure.
Whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty sure, this wasn't, people that are trying to figure this stuff out, this was not in the manual.
You want to know why? Because my simple brain, well, not really simple brain.
Alex walks in, storms in the New York office, or Toronto office, kicks in, bam! Bubble! Part new! And just walks back out.
Oh, I would just be like, well, have you thought about it?
Alex,
no.
You know the meme?
No.
Have
you thought about this? Have you thought about
Alex,
this?
no.
Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? And if they can't give me answers, I fix it.
Alex, you know the meme?
Fix it, Felix.
Where there is the group in the conference room, and the boss says something dumb, and then there's the two guys that just, the yes men, and then the guy on the end says, well, we should do this instead, and he gets thrown out the window. That's
me.
you. That is genuinely you.
Hi, I'm the guy that gets fired because I use common sense.
Because I have ideas. But no, I hope it gets solved soon. I really do. I want it to be solved soon. I want hockey to be back. And listen, I will say this.
Hockey will be back. It's just a matter of
will say
for
this.
the Canadian division.
It's weird for everything right now. Weird how everything's going on. I will say this. I was trying to figure out how I was going to say it, but I don't think there's a good way to say it. I want to work. That's the thing. I don't think there are a lot of people say, what do you mean you want to work? Isn't this great having time off, whatever? I'm like, yeah, it's great, but
no, it's not.
Well, I'll say this. The first shutdown, that was great. That was fun. Oh, man, just chillax, played the Wii, had the place to myself because Kelly worked. Oh.
It was good for a hot second.
As soon as the season's normal schedule came back around, come on, let's get back to business. Because at that point, pretty much the end of my year. The only problem was
we're both people that we like to be busy.
we like what we do.
Well, also that. We also like to be busy. You don't like having a lot of free time.
I don't like having a lot of free time, but I'll be honest, the job I was working at the time, I was so happy.
That's fair. That is fair.
Retail sucks.
But let's move on a little bit.
What do we got? What do we got next? I'm sorry.
We have just regular news.
Yeah, let's go. I'm making sure I got my ready for the CHS coming up later.
Yes, we got it.
Yeah,
so regular news that we have.
Ooh.
Anthony Duclair has signed with the Florida Panthers 1 year by $1.7 million. By the way, quick side note about the Florida Panthers. Somebody made a concept jersey as an alternate for the Panthers, and it was a Miami Vice.
Oh, yeah, I saw that the other day. I'm like, what? Oh, no. Yeah, okay. Well, like what the Miami Heat did.
Right, because, they're the Sunrise is the closest to Miami. So
they were in Miami at one point.
They were in Miami.
And they decided this Miami arena is old.
It's the logo that has the palm tree and the hockey stick, and it's all blacked out with the neon.
So you're telling me it's like the New York Islanders jersey, the Brooklyn Nets one, but with color.
No, it's the Miami Heat jersey, but as the Florida Panthers. I'm just saying, if they made it, I would have to buy it. I would have to buy one.
I will say this:
it's so hard.
That is the one bummer, Alex, about working
so hard.
About my financial situation right now is that I couldn't buy one. Couldn't even buy one sweater.
Buy one what?
One reverse retro sweater.
Why not?
They're expensive, man.
Okay.
Like even a hoodie. Because I'd probably go for I would have done the Wild Wing one, the Mighty Ducks one, no question about it. Like that's my goal. Like I need to figure out. I want to know if the hockey guy, the guy on YouTube that does hockey videos, but he has like every team's jersey. I want to find him. Be like, all right, did you just save money and buy them separately, or did somehow you know someone who knows someone who knew someone that could somehow transport it down the line to you? Because mother of goodness gracious me, he got a Vegas Golden Knights sweater seemed like 3 days after they got released. Okay, that may not be true, but anyways, I wanted that one.
I mean, they might be, but
back to the Florida Panthers.
Same token, he also might be, as you say, well off in life and just be able to buy that kind of stuff. And he also probably makes some sort of something on it.
That is true. So I honestly wonder. Now going back to this move for Anthony Duclair here. Okay, I'm sorry. I was making sure that our sound was correct. Like I know we tested it before the show.
It was on.
I was making sure.
I can hear you. You
got really quiet on the feed, so I'm like, oh gosh. So Anthony Duclair, this is an interesting deal because it seemed like Ottawa was gonna sign him, but apparently the term with the value was not there.
Right.
And apparently he was in the 3 to 4 year range, $3.5 to $4 million range. Because I'm not saying he's not worth that, but he apparently wants more. He wants longer term. And with the Ottawa Senators,
he wants stability is what he wants.
With any player right now. Now hold on. I mean, that's why I think that would have been great, especially with the Ottawa Senators. I guess
he wants to buy a house.
Buy a house in Canada? No. Listen. Let's just call it Brian 5 or 6. Let's ask him about the housing market up there. But because the Ottawa Senators guys, I'm not saying they're going to be good tomorrow. They're not going to be good the day after that, but they'll be good in a little bit. So that would not be a bad idea to stay there for a while for Anthony Duclair. The problem is that he wasn't going to get what he wants, so he decided, let's just go 1 year, 1.7, and he's kind of betting on himself here. And he's going to be on a team that has very high-end offensive skill. Bottom 6 will be tough, though, which is you hope Duclair gets in that top 6, Alex, but with Vincent Trocheck now being with Carolina, but I don't know if he'll excel in that role yet.
His money is going to be made in special teams, I think.
He's very talented offensively. I think if he can develop a two-way game, that'll be better, I believe. I think that'll be better in the long run. The thing is, I think that, and this is something Elliot Friedman, Buddy Fried, said
I don't think he should be going for a two-way player.
Well,
because I don't
you want to
think-
have versatility. Ryan O'Reilly, Ryan O'Reilly, Alex, great offensive talent, excellent defensive player.
How much does he get paid, though?
Ryan O'Reilly?
Yeah.
Is he making 7?
7, is he?
Something like that. He's getting paid a little
Or
bit.
who am I thinking of? I can't think of it.
No, now you're getting me looking him up. Ryan O'Reilly, by the way, named captain, if I'm not mistaken, of the St. Louis Blues. Can you look at that, Alex? Just look up Ryan O'Reilly because it should pop right up.
Sure.
I'm just going to look up what he's making. St. Louis Blues, Ryan O'Reilly.
Captain.
$7.5 million. I say it's pretty good, Alex. $7.5 million.
Yep.
And Ryan O'Reilly is the captain, taking over Alex Pietrangelo, who's now a Vegas Golden Knight. But the problem is, and Fried said this last week on, I believe, Hockey Central, he said that having players expect to get paid what they're worth in a normal economy cannot happen anymore. And I've said this on the show, Alex. Players are going to have to take haircuts for the foreseeable future until the league can show that, hey, guys, we're getting profitable again. We're back to stability. We can start ramping up the cap. Until that happens, Alex, players have to be realistic. You're right. Anthony Duclair, you may be worth $4 million. You have the talent. You can definitely produce. You have the capabilities, but no one's going to take a chance unless you've been putting up 80 points the last 4 seasons to pay a guy like that in a flat cap world. Florida just had the room to do it, to give him a cheap contract for a year. That's just how it's going to end up being for a lot of players. How Vegas did their thing. Listen, we'll get to that, I think, in a couple weeks with Vegas and how the heck they're going to play next season and not get penalized financially based on the fact that they have no room.
Just wait. They got their.
They are not going to
going.
Tampa out of this, Alex.
They can do it.
If Tampa can't do it, Vegas can't do it.
They can do it.
Mark my words.
Watch.
But
Just watch.
I like it because Duclair has an opportunity. I can say if Bobrovsky was better. The year, Alex, that Florida had the second best power play in the league when Luongo and Reimer just forgot how to goaltend.
Dude.
The offense is there. If Bobrovsky can figure it out, they'll be a competitor. They won't be a 10th place team in the East, Alex. That'll be a team that'll be looking at the Toronto Maple Leafs and being like, when they get to the Atlantic Division, of course. How they'll do in the East, I don't know. Because are they in the East or the Central? They're in the Central. Well, I don't know, man. You got Detroit in there. You got Nashville in there.
You've got a fighting shot if you're not playing Dallas or Columbus or Tampa.
If Udobin plays like he did last year, but you have Chicago, whose goaltenders are Subban and whoever's from Rockford.
Let's be honest here.
Colin Delia, yeah.
Carolina's gonna be a tough game for you. Chicago, meh. Columbus,
If Reimer can keep it up, yeah.
or Mrazek.
I'm saying you're gonna need to have
Reimer's not the main guy.
Hey,
Ty.
No, he's not.
Reimer's not a main guy.
He's not. But you're gonna need both goaltenders clicking this year. There's gonna be a lot of.
We'll see.
There's gonna be more back-to-backs this year
know.
than ever.
Carolina's gonna be a rough game for them. Chicago, meh. Columbus, yeah, probably. Dallas, yes. That's gonna be rough for you. Detroit, that's a win.
If Tampa
Nashville,
breaks
that's
down,
a probable win. Tampa, meh.
Columbus is built to destroy offenses. If you can somehow break that, and especially when you're going to be playing them, Alex, 8 times a year.
Columbus is made to break offenses down, and Dallas is meant to break an entire team down.
Right.
Dallas is the hardest.
And like we said, Tampa will not be as good.
Tampa may be the reigning, defending, undisputed world heavyweight. Dallas is the hardest team in this division. They're the top dog.
For me, it's Dallas and Tampa, yeah.
And that's not even just because they were the last two standing.
That's just because.
Well, I don't even think Tampa's in okay, by default, I would say yes, Tampa is better than Carolina, but to the same token, they don't scare me.
No.
They're a beast that can be easily slain. You just have to just get under that scale.
Right.
You know exactly where to hit them. You just have to hit it.
Yeah.
Which is that's the tough part about Tampa. They're not easy to beat. You just have to find out how to beat them.
And you're saying they learned how to win last year. Tampa, they finally learned how to get over that hump. Now they know. And unless, like I said, unless there's a dismantling here in the next few coming weeks, it's pretty much same team minus Zach Bogosian. Am I wrong there, Alex? I don't think there's much missing from that team from last year. Still going to have Hedman.
I don't
Stamkos may come back. You'll still have Killorn. Still have Point. Still have Kucherov. Kucherov, Alex, he's pretty good, isn't he?
Oh, for a second there, I thought that said NHL Hall of Famer. I was about to... What?
No. Yes, Kevin Green, former NFL Hall of Famer, died today, passed away at the age of 58. But I'm interested to see what is going to happen with
What was
that
that
division.
Scroll up a little bit. Portland.
What about Portland? New release, new ownership. Ooh, okay, cool. New ownership for the Portland Winterhawks.
Oh,
good news.
good for them.
Good for them. Good for them indeed. Let's see.
Where are we going? Oh, so
cool.
yes, that's Florida. So, hopefully Duclair can make his money next year, do as well as he possibly can. Two players are not going to be playing this season. Alex Steen retiring from the game of hockey, and Henrik Lundqvist, he is not playing next season due to a heart condition.
Yes.
Is what he said publicly on the social medias.
He played. So let's go to Alex Steen quickly here. I like, it's funny because I was not a hard Leafs fan when he was there. Not as much as I am. Well, pardon me, I was probably more after he left. But a great player, a guy that could be a top scorer, but also be a depth guy, depth center. Yes, he was not your superstar. He was not your Tarasenko. He's not your Ryan O'Reilly. He's not your guy that's going to be on your poster boards, okay? But he's a guy that you needed in the lineup.
Yeah.
And it's a shame to see him go, but you know what? It's not like he was the big point-producing guy anymore, but he was a good role player. I would presume the Blues, typically with most recent retirees do, Alex, they get a job in the front office. Guy that I would think he would recognize good talent. Not saying he's going to be a scout. Not saying he'd probably some form of player development, hockey op somewhere. So, I hope he has a good career after. But he definitely had a great career though, for sure. As a St. Louis Blue more than a Leaf.
Yeah, he's been there quite a bit. What was it?
2005. His first year was
no. St. Louis 2008.
He got traded. Yep.
2008 was his first. 2008.
Carlo Koliakovo and Alex Steen for Lee Stepniak. Alex.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Hey. I'm just.
Who was that? Was that Cliff Fletcher? That was Cliff Fletcher. Good Lord.
Was it?
I believe so.
You sure it
His
wasn't?
No, Berkey came in 2000. He was after Fletcher.
Okay.
But yeah, not good at all.
And then not really much to report on the Lundqvist stuff. He made his post on Twitter saying that he won't be able to play, and then obviously the entire hockey world sending their thoughts and stuff. Obviously, who is supposed to be his teammate Alexander Ovechkin also making a post hoping that he can play with him sometime soon. Because obviously,
think of it this way:
he's not really playing for the Rangers no more, and he's not really playing now.
So, and that's the tough part too. This is not like because
this just adds so much.
Well, because here's the thing: if you have a condition of any kind, you want to make sure that you can be healthy and you can be safe. And if you don't feel like you're going to be up to snuff, because he's been skating, it's not like this is he's been trying to get on the ice. He's been skating, been testing, working out, and they realized that.
Well, I wonder if he got tested or I wonder if he got COVID. Because one thing is that
I know, yeah, COVID would have to for heart.
Well, some patients you have the thing where it can do stuff to
your breathing and your
arteries.
Yes, and that's probably why he decided this year is not the best year. He's going to go home, rest up. Maybe he'll come back next year if it's safer then and whatnot. This sounds like something that was completely out of his control. Not a guy just this.
Either way though. Even if he had a good career. If he doesn't come back and it's just one of those things.
I'll say this. I will be okay, how can I say this without sounding like a turd? I would be more complete and more satisfied if he didn't.
Didn't come back?
Simply because he's a Ranger.
That is true.
It'd
But
be
the
like-
damage been done, Ty. He signed with the Capitals. He got the pads.
Yes, Alex, but listen. It's like saying Bobby Orr, Chicago Blackhawk. He played 20 games, Alex. Calm down. The reason why Marty Bird is such a big deal is because Marty Bird wanted to get 700 wins, and he just wasn't going to do it.
I get it. No.
So it's tough to see him go, but he's had a great career. Yeah, he came up short in 2014. There was no business in them not beating New Jersey in 2012 in the conference finals. It was the team in front of him. Henrik Lundqvist, in those few years, Alex, was arguably the best goaltender in hockey.
He was. He was at his peak.
Everyone's
Yeah,
like, but he
he-
lost to Jonathan Quick. Makes Jonathan Quick better. Dude, look how Jonathan Quick is with a bad team in front of him. He is an average goaltender that is flexible.
Okay, but you also have to remember who was on that team and who was in their prime on that team.
That's what I'm saying.
Dustin Brown was the captain, and he was good.
Doughty, Jeff Carter, Mike Richards, Jarrett Stoll, apparently not on coke.
Apparently.
But that's what I'm saying is like there was that good team in front of him. That's what I'm realizing. Like Henrik Lundqvist,
Jonathan Quick was popular because his team won.
his team won. And he won conference. Yeah, he didn't allow that many goals, and he was really good.
He
but
was good. He wasn't great.
He was not, and that's why I say Mike Richter is borderline overrated. That 94 team, Alex, was
John
the
Baby.
President's Trophy winner.
John Baby is overrated.
What?
I can't say his name right.
Oh, Beezer?
John Van Beesbrook.
John Van Beesbrook. Well, Beezer's interesting because he took that team to the conference finals in '86.
Tyler.
What?
What do you call the cherry that you put on top of a sundae? What's the name of it? Starts with an M. Pronounce it.
No, I don't know. Mancini cherry? Mancino cherry?
No. Apparently, I've been saying it wrong my entire life because I thought it was Marciano cherries.
Oh, Marciano cherries.
No.
What? What is it? No, you're going to look it up now? Alex, our Wi-Fi is already puckering out as it is. But anyways,
Maraschino.
Maraschino cherries.
Maraschino, not Marciano.
What does that have to do with tea in China?
I've been saying that my entire
What
life.
does that have to do with John Van Beesbrook?
It's the holiday season and Marciano cherries go. See, I just said it.
Yeah.
Maraschino cherries go on Christmas cookies in this family.
No, they go in the cookies.
They go on.
They go in the cookies.
On,
underneath.
under.
But,
Okay.
so it's tough to see Lundqvist go. I just want him to stay a Ranger because he was, I
Well,
believe.
he can't stay a Ranger. He's a part of the Washington Capitals organization.
I will stab you with this pen.
Do it. End my life now. Please.
Here, let's play a game.
Please.
Open your hand up, Alex. We're doing the 5 game. Come on, let's do this. Ready?
I don't want to play the 5 game. That's
Oh,
painful. I just want to die.
Stab me in the wrist and get this ink in my blood so I can die. Or, don't poke me. I think is what you're saying. So, yeah,
If you're going to do it right.
if you're going to get it over with. But no, yeah, listen. Henrik Lundqvist, outside of... Actually, I think I'm trying to think of all the Rangers goaltenders in the past. Like Eddie Jackman and Clint Smith back in the day. And was Clint Smith the goal? No, he wasn't the goaltender. Who was the goaltender to that team? Like Lauren Chabot was great, but Henrik Lundqvist was... I don't see how the argument cannot be made on how he's not the best goaltender in the Rangers history. Yes, he didn't win the cup. But look at the team in front of him. Henrik Lundqvist would have won 3 Stanley Cups with that Rangers team in the 90s.
Well, while I look that up, Tyler is going to go over the college hockey scoreboard.
Well, hold on a second.
But first,
Why would you look it up, Alex? You don't need to look it up.
well, I do.
No, you don't.
The list of New York Rangers goalies.
Oh, there's a lot of them, Alex. Listen,
Are we going to do?
Don't forget Mike Dunham. Mike Dunham.
I'm
was
just
a
saying.
goaltender.
I'm going to look them all up.
He was a goaltender at one point. But, yes, as Alex said, we are getting into college hockey scoreboard time. We had a lot of games this past week, guys. So much action to talk about here. We're going to start off with Tuesday, AIC getting a win over Army. The Black Knights. Tobias Flatterby with 2 goals. Stefano Durante, he had himself a great week for AIC. Had himself a great start to the year with 25 saves. Moving on over to the NCHC, Colorado College beating Miami, getting their second win of the season, a 4-1 win. Grant Cruikshank, 3rd goal in 2 games. We'll talk about him a little bit later on here in the college hockey scoreboard. Number 8, Denver barely beats Western Michigan. Colin Olszewski, the game-winning goal. Corbin Kaspersky, only 12 saves, Alex. Very easy game for him. In non-conference action, Wyatt Bongiavini with the game-winning goal and a 1-goal, 1-assist performance for him as Quinnipiac survives Sacred Heart. They won on Monday by a big margin, but they had to go to a close one against Sacred Heart, a 2-1 win in that one. Going over to Wednesday, Niagara and Mercyhurst tied 3-3. Lakers won that game in a shootout. In NCHC action, North Dakota beating St. Cloud State 4-3 in overtime. Jordan Kawaguchi scoring the game winner 8 seconds into overtime. He had a goal and an assist along with Shane Pinto. Also in NCHC action, Mavericks tied Duluth 2-2, but the Mavericks won in the shootout, Alex. Nebraska Omaha playing some good hockey. WCHA first game of the season for Northern Michigan. They beat Ferris State by a 5-4 score. And then going on over as somehow my music got messed up. Stinking, snarking. Alex, why aren't you controlling the music here?
Because I'm not a producer.
Are you even trying over here? Northern Michigan beats Ferris State Thursday. Arizona State ties Ohio State. No shootout there because it's non-conference. NCHC action, Miami beating Denver. Stunner. As the Red Hawks pick up a win over the Pioneers. They've kind of struggled in parts of this season. Moving on over now to Friday, AIC with another win. They beat Bentley 4-1. Stefano Durante, 27 saves. Chris Tadero, a goal and assist for the Yellow Jackets. Mercyhurst, up big win over Niagara. Niagara actually led 4-1 in the first period, Alex, but Mercyhurst reels off 6 straight goals. Carson Briere, 2 goals and 2 assists in that game. Arizona State won their second game against the Buckeyes, a 3-2 score. Evan DeBrouwer, 37 saves. Matthew Comperu, 7th goal of the season. Alex currently tied for the nation lead in points with 13. Non-conference action, Bowling Green beats Quinnipiac 4-1. Alex Barber, goal and an assist. Zach Rose, 23 saves in the game. NCHC St. Cloud State beats Colorado. And just 2 goals. Tigers giving the Huskies a scare in that one. As we move out and over, Omaha beats Western Michigan 6-5 in a wild game. Goal and 2 assists for Chase Primo. Taylor Ward, 2 goals and 2 assists for the Mavericks. WCHA action, we go over to Minnesota State, beating Bemidji State, number 5 Minnesota State. 5-4. Cade Borchardt, 2 goals and 2 assists. Michigan Tech beating Northern Michigan by a 4-3 margin. It's going to repeat. I made sure I clicked that time. AJ Vanderbeck tied the game for Northern Michigan late, but Brian Hallian's goal in overtime proved to be the decider. As we move now over to Saturday, as I throw my paper, get it out of here. AIC end up completing the weekend super over Bentley 3-1 to start 5-0 on the year. Michigan State tying Notre Dame 1-1. However, Notre Dame ends up winning in the shootout. Hockey East, UMass beating Vermont big 4-0. Matt Murray with 15 saves. He had an easy weekend against the Catamounts. Providence tying Northeastern 3-3. However, Huskies won in the shootout. Aiden McDonough, the game winner there. Connor Murphy, 36 saves for the Huskies. Bowling Green completed the weekend super over Quinnipiac. 4-2 win. Connor Ford, a goal and 2 assists with the game-winning goal. Gavin Gould, 1 goal and 1 assist. The Michigan Tech transfer. NCHC as we move over to now. Western tying Denver. Denver's had a bit of a weird start to the season, Alex, in that pod. Hunter McCabe, a goal and an assist. And the game-winning goal in the shootout for the Denver Pioneers. The Pioneers able to pick up the extra conference point. North Dakota beats Minnesota Duluth in a close 2-1 win. Grant mismatched game-winning goal with 48.8 seconds to go. Colin Adams, a goal and an assist. Also, Miami tied Colorado College 1-1. Tigers winning in the shootout there. WCHA action, Bemidji State ties the Minnesota State. There were so many shootouts on Saturday, Alex. It was stupid. Nobody wanted to win in regulation on that day. Beavers and Mavericks had to go to a shootout. Julian Aprivink with a sick shootout goal to give the Mavericks the extra point in that one. Michigan Tech beat Northern Michigan to complete the weekend sweep. Blake Pietola, 21 saves, and once again, Brian Hallinan, the game-winning goal in that matchup there. Lots of great action. And Sunday, I didn't make a graphic for it because only a few games. Big Ten action. Michigan State beating Notre Dame in overtime, Alex, 4-3. Tommy Apap tied the game with 22 seconds to go. Then Tommy Miller, an end-to-end rush, ended up being the game-winning goal. Drew DeRitter, Alex, 88 saves in those 2 games. He's pretty good. Got a lot of work on him. Michigan State needs to figure that out if they want to have success in the Big Ten. Providence beating Northeastern by a big margin, 5-0 in that one. Jackson Stauber, son of Rob Stauber, the former Heisman Trophy goaltender for Minnesota, 28 save shutout in that one. UMass completes the weekend super over Vermont with a 4-1 win. NCHC action, St. Cloud State beating Denver. David Horenik, 31 saves. He's had another impressive start for the Huskies as they move up the charts. And a big win for the Fighting Hawks of North Dakota as they complete their pod season with a 6-2 win over Miami. Now they're 7-2-1, best record coming out of the pod in the NCHC. Today, Omaha Nebraska Omaha beat Colorado College 3-0. Alex, they're 6-3-1. Alex. Omaha. Watch out for them. They'll be a sleeper this year. And just finishing up not too long ago, UMass Lowell finally gained a win in only their second game of the season, beating UConn 2-1. In that one, that is it for the college hockey scoreboard. It's getting longer. This week's going to be a short one, though, Alex. God bless it, because the holiday season kind of slows everything down. So that is it for the college hockey scoreboard this week, presented by me, because I haven't found a sponsor for that one yet. You think we could get one for that, you would think.
Ty?
Yes, Alex?
After all that, which, by the way, just going to say this and put this out there into the world, when you get into that and you get into the that's your broadcast voice. And puts
him on the right side, takes a shot, and it goes one of the goal. Hey, that's what I do, man.
That is what you do.
Did it with Berkey a couple of times during the football season. Caledonia kicking the crap out of Jenison the other night. No.
Who is a better goalie? Let me rephrase that.
Back to the Rangers.
Who is the best goalie to never win a Stanley Cup with the New York Rangers?
Oh, with the Rangers?
Yes.
Lundqvist.
You sure?
Lundqvist, yeah.
What about Gump Worsley?
Gump Worsley didn't play long enough for the Rangers to get good.
10 seasons.
Played 10 seasons.
10 seasons.
But they weren't. What was his tenure with the Rangers?
He played from 1952-53 all the way until
Never made it to the finals.
1962-63. So
Never made. Yes, Hall of Fame goaltender, great goaltender. Gave that team a chance to win a lot of hockey games they shouldn't have, but the team was nowhere near good enough around him. It wasn't until after he left they got Rod Gilbert, Jean Rattel.
I'm talking goalies, Ty.
Brad Park.
I'm not talking about team. Talking goalies.
I'm saying Gump Worsley as a Ranger was not as good as even Eddie Jackman as a Ranger, as even Henrik Lundqvist as a Ranger. John Van Beesbrook was a great goaltender. All-star. Vezina Trophy winner. Still better than Gump Worsley's tenure, even though he was a very great goaltender, and that's what got him the ability to go to Montreal and win some cups with the Canadiens.
Where you got 2 Vezinas.
2 Vezina. He was really good. But for me, best goaltender to not win a Stanley Cup, Henrik Lundqvist as a Ranger. Because I don't have enough time to figure out who's the best goaltender never to win a Stanley Cup. Like, ever. That's my thing. It's like, that I would, like, out of the entire league's history, I would need some time to look at that.
Or a quick Google search.
Because you have guys like Carey Price, who won the Hart Trophy. And, I mean, Hasek was in that boat for a long time before he won with Detroit. Felix Potvin was good for a couple of years. I'd love to say Felix Potvin. Ronnie Hextall, I believe, should be in this conversation then. Oh, man.
Ready?
Kelly Rudy played on a great team. Man, wait, this Wi-Fi sucks. I'm going to go back. We're going to go back to the old router next week, see if that makes it better, because we have a guest coming on next week. We had to push a guest back for this week's show. God bless that we did, Alex. Seriously.
Honestly, though.
Could you imagine trying to do a Google Meet with this bad Wi-Fi?
Beezer didn't win a cup. Kolzig did not win a cup. Mika Kiprasov did not win a cup. Henrik Lundqvist. Roberto Luongo.
Oh, that's true. Roberto Luongo and Cujo. Like I said,
Ron Hextall, Cujo.
And Cujo. Like I said, Alex, I would need to do some research. I was looking at older goaltenders back in the day. I would
Ryan Miller had never won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but Miller, he was great. And then, I'll be honest, Alex, that Olympics, the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver, that was his peak. Buffalo made the playoffs that year, or the next year in 2011, but that was his peak. He was not nearly as good. He was a shell of himself for the remainder of his career. Even though he's still playing.
Nope. We lose.
What?
Best goalie to never win the Stanley Cup. Vladislav Tretiak. Never won a Stanley Cup.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Never won a Stanley Cup.
That is true.
Best goalie never won a Stanley Cup.
We should have
arguably.
You know what? You know what we should have done, Alex? We were wrong. We should have done best goaltender who played in the NHL, because it is fair. It is a crying shame that he never got to play.
Vladislav Tretiak. Yeah, Vladislav
had he been born 10 years later, Alex, had he been born 10 years later, he would have came over with Fetisov, and they would have just landed.
They played on the same team.
Well, yeah, they played on the same Soviet Red Army team, but by the time Fetisov defected, Tretiak was done playing.
Tretiak never played in the NHL, but Jimmy Craig did.
And he sucked.
Yeah.
He was... Seriously, name me a good player out of that team. Mark Pavelich, the only guy to actually have a sustainable career in the NHL. Mark Johnson played a little bit too, but I know Pavelich played a little bit more.
Wasn't Sutter on the team?
Oh, Bob Suter, yeah. He wasn't even the best. Bob Suter was not even the best in his own family, though.
So,
Gary,
we're talking about the New York no, we're talking about the United States 1980. Lake Placid, New York. Miracle on Ice.
Bob Suter wasn't even the best in his own family.
Yet he was yeah.
Charlie Steiner looks at Evander Holyfield. You're not even the top 10 of all fighters in the country, in the world. No, in Georgia.
Let's talk about Jack O'Callahan.
Did he ever even play after that?
I don't freaking know. But he was bald and crippled basically when they did the whole documentary, bait.
Oh man, and I gotta look up these numbers now.
Oh,
Jack
my gosh.
O'Callahan.
All right, best player to come out of the Miracle team.
I can't even search it. That's how bad this is right now. Nope, not even gonna give it a shot. We're just gonna go that he didn't play. All right, so next on the list, Alex, what do we got? Host.
I'm working on it. We have
Bring you back for 1 week. This is what
Tyler's World Juniors. The hottest hits. 10777.
That's too many numbers. 10777. It's not even a real radio station because the number doesn't even exist. Whoa.
It's AM radio.
AM radio is only 4 numbers. AM. Okay, holy cripes. Okay. Anyways, so the World Juniors start up.
Went out PM radio.
Give me your hand. We're on PM radio. We don't even exist.
It's nighttime in Germany.
It's nighttime Germany radio. So I'm going to quickly do my run through here. How long have we been going here? It's weird. It's weird. Look at the clock now. We've been going for about an hour 20. Because I'm looking at the clock. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. We only got a half hour left. No, we don't. Not in the slightest. Are you trying to look for another Wi-Fi?
Yes.
I've given up on it, Alex.
Just go.
Because, Alex, after I get through this, we don't need internet anymore.
That's fair.
We just need to know all the teams that are playing. You have the graphic up.
Wu-Tang Clan. Shoot, that's some Wi-Fi I need.
The Wu-Tang Clan. It's got 2 bars, Alex. It would definitely not help us here. So, the World Juniors. Let's quick run down through these teams. I didn't make a graphic or anything because I didn't really want to. Group A consists of Canada, Finland, Switzerland, Slovakia, and Germany. Now, Germany will get interesting here in a minute. Start off with Canada. Last year's gold medal winners, 18 golds in their total. Alex, in 5 years, not like half this team will be in the NHL. Or no, 75%, I'll give it that. You have Cole Perfetti, Kirby Doc, Quentin Byfield. Yes, you don't have Alexis Lafreniere. Yes, you don't have Shane Wright, even though he should have been. But there is still a lot to be excited about this hockey club. The question will be the goaltending, Alex, because you have Taylor Gauthier, who played in Prince George last year, who is not that good, guys, okay? But he still had good numbers. 917 save percentage for a below 500 team. You have Dylan Garand, who he played for Kamloops last couple of years, 28-10-3 last year, 2.21 goals against average. Out of all the goaltenders that have the experience, it looks like Dylan Garand will probably get the first start. Maybe Gauthier gets up against a team like either Slovakia or Switzerland, maybe a team that's not as strong. Mm-hmm. Darren Levi is going to be your third-string goaltender. He's committed to Northeastern, hasn't even played for the Huskies yet this year. By the time they've actually played a game, he was already with Team Canada's development camp. So he'll probably be on the back burner. But I like Garand and Gauthier, but it's compared to other teams in this tournament, Alex, they are not the strongest. The goaltending is not the strongest. We'll get to the Americans later on because I know.
No, I'm just looking.
No, you're good. So Canada's got to look forward to. Finland lost in the bronze medal game last year. They won it, though, in 2019 with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen as their goaltender.
That's a name. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Yeah, he's listen, Buffalo's got to give him a chance. Because Linus Ullmark and Carter Hutton, get Luukkonen up there. So, Mikko Kakkonen, Leafs prospect, Anton Lindell, he'll be another guy to watch out for the Finns. 20 points in 17 games in Liga, Alex, in the Finnish league, playing pretty well this year. Vinny Heinola, a guy that's got experience. He's played a few games with the Jets. Very talented young player. Finland's got that nice little bit of youth, but they also have the veterans that have been in the tournament before and the skill to go involved. And Finland has slowly crept up as a contender. Once again, for me, it's their goaltending. They don't look as strong back there as they did last year, a couple of years ago, so that may be their downfall in this tournament. The Swiss, man, I always love looking at the Swiss because you never know who's going to be their best player. You don't know how they're going to do, But somehow, somebody, they always beat Russia. They always beat somebody they shouldn't in the round, or not the round robin, but the quarterfinals, semifinals. Last year they lost to the
Czechs
in the quarterfinal. Third, no, that's not right. Is it?
best
Yes.
finish.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. I had it right. Okay. I was making sure. Sorry. So they lost in the quarters to the Czechs. Best finish was third in 1998. Inaki Bergano plays for Cam Loop. So they have some North American experience. Simon Kanak played for Portland, the new team of the new ownership. Would it be Ray Foust or Ray Fust? Foust. Ray Foust committed to Nebraska Omaha. Too bad he's not there right now. He may be tearing up with that team. Omaha!
Watch out for Omaha.
Drew Brees said Omaha about every snap yesterday,
That's funny.
which is hilarious because he's the
Oh, he thinks he's Peyton.
he
That's
has more passing yards
adorable.
than Peyton Manning.
He'll never be Peyton.
He'll never be Peyton. He's got too small of a head.
Hey.
As we learned in the offseason.
Red 18.
Still, the story is so dumb you can't make it up. I want to have Pat McAfee on the show just to get his reaction. Not to
Let me tell you something about Peyton Manning. All right. Here, FanDuel Studio.
No! Turn it up to 11!
No.
If they turn up, no. So I'm gonna get to this part, Alex, because we got a lot to go with you and I here.
That's fair.
So Switzerland, the tough part is the group that they're in, because they have this group will be led by the Finns and Canadians, all things considered, but they can always spook some teams. They can compete. They've always seemed to have always done it. I like to think they'll maybe get third or fourth. I don't think they'll be the team that gets relegated. The team, well, there's two teams that may get relegated. One because they may not have any players. The other team is Slovakia. Sorry. You okay there, bud?
Go on without me.
I broke Alex, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, Slovakia. Was it just the way I went with that one? The time I don't make a joke, he laughs.
He says, and the other team's.
I will say this, Alex. Samuel Halave, for Sherbrooke Phoenix goaltender in the Quebec League, he's not a bad goaltender. He'll do what Slovakian goaltenders always do, Alex. They'll play really well, make 45 saves, lose 6-0 though. That's the bummer with him. Yeah, you have a guy that plays the Vancouver Giants, Marco Stacha, Alexei Mikluka. I almost got that wrong. Alexei Mikluka. He's a very highly touted prospect. He can turn some waves for the Slovaks. I just don't know if they'll be good. Now, where this comes in the other team, Alex, is Germany. They have had, we'll get to Sweden in a minute. But for a team that's been stricken with COVID, they've been shooketh and stricken with the COVID. The Germans have had issues. They have 8 players right now, 8 members, with COVID, not 8 players. So far, we don't know who they are, but on the roster is Tim Stützle, of course, third overall pick with the Ottawa Senators.
Tim Strudel.
Philip Reinsecker, who signed with Fleshtown.
Fleshtown! Welcome to Fleshtown, home of flesh.
Who plays for Fishtown in the Dell, or signed with
Welcome to Fishtown.
Fishtown
Home of
in the
the
Dell.
fish.
In the Dell.
Go
Fishtown.
Fish.
Hasn't played for him. Played in the Dell too the last couple seasons. He'll be a guy to watch out for. And Maximilian Glotzel. I almost said that wrong. He is arguably, because here's the thing. That's the bummer about not having Mo Seider play. We don't know the reason why Mo Seider's not playing for Team Germany this year. But Glotzel is supposed to be the guy that's going to replace him. The second best defender coming out of Germany other than Mo Seider. So at least the Germany will be somewhat strong on the back end. Stop it.
I'm sorry. First, you had me with the other team, Slovakia. Then you got Fleshtown. And now all I can think of in my head when you say Mo Seider is what is a Michigander saying, Paul? Mo Seider. I need to turn myself down.
Oh, Lordy. 90 minutes in, we're already off the rails. But so, coming out of that group, Alex, Canada and Finland, 1 and 2. I think Switzerland could pick up a win maybe against Finland, maybe stun them. But I don't see Finland losing to Slovakia and Germany. The thing with Germany is they don't have goaltending. I don't think their goaltending strong enough. Yeah, you'll have Stützle. You have a very good up front. May have a good offensive attack. One of the best, as we talked with Cody Jansen a couple weeks ago, one of the best lines in the tournament. Best line. Singular. Not a team. Not a whole up front. Your 12 guys will not be stronger compared to the Finns, to the Canadians. Switzerland, like I said, they'll compete with. Slovakia, I believe Germany can get a win there if they don't get beat by a hot goaltender. So, Germany will be interesting. They don't have to play until Boxing Day, but there are some players that actually have to miss until the 27th. Moving over to Group B now, you have Austria making the appearances
Wait,
here.
when do they play till?
They don't start till Boxing Day. So the tournament starts on Christmas Day this
Day.
year. But Canada and Germany play on Boxing Day. Austria making their appearance. Their first appearance since 2010. So it's been 10 years. Been a minute.
Dickie.
I'll be honest. I was looking at the roster, Alex. A lot of kids that are playing junior hockey over in Denmark. A lot of players actually, Austria in the E-Bell. So I should have messaged Mitch O'Keefe. Say, hey, what about these kids? You know anything about these guys? Because that's
best team of the decade.
What?
I said best team of the decade.
What?
Them.
Austria.
Because they're the only one.
Marco Rossi, Ottawa 67's top 10 pick. He is it. And Cody and I both agreed he may be a guy that keeps that team from getting relegated. Because I don't in their group, maybe the Czech Republic. But that's it though. That's the tough part for me. The Czechs who lost to Sweden last year, they are a team that they had 2 goals, but that was 20 years ago.
Golds.
What'd I say?
Goals.
2 golds. I didn't pronounce the D. Nick Malik, goaltender for the Sioux, he may be the decider for them. He may be the guy that really needs to step up. And once again, you play junior hockey in Canada, you're used to that North American game, even though the only North American team you're playing is the United States. Regardless, he'll be important. Jan Mishak, he's a Montreal draft pick. Apparently, there's a lot of talk about Radek Majuškic. Oh, gosh. Alex, help me out here. You're seeing that. Majuškic?
Muškic.
Radek Muškic plays for the Lia in the Swedish league. Coming on over here. A lot of people talking about him to watch out for. Once again, the group because then you have Russia, Sweden, and the United States. Russia, silver last year. Igor Finisiev, Skegan Boy. Alexander Romanov. Yaroslav Askarov comes back in goal. Catch with the wrong hand, Alex, but guess what? He's the right guy for the job. Thank you. Thank you. Woo! Give me some of that. Give me some of that.
That's a good one.
Wah!
I felt that.
Mikhail Abramo and Rodin Amarov, those guys have been tearing it up overseas, both Maple Leafs prospects. This team has talent. This team is really good. Here's the thing, though, Alex. They're playing Sweden, who has not lost in a round-robin game, in a group stage game. Alex, I believe you were in middle school.
2006?
Okay, maybe not that long. Maybe before that. But they've gone on this ridiculous streak of not losing in group stage games. They have, and they have the talent to do it this year. Lucas Raymond, Alexander Holtz, New Jersey draft pick. Philip Broberg, Oilers prospect, very touted prospect. Hugo Alnefelt, who is arguably one of the kind of underrated goaltenders coming to this tournament. He's 5-1. He was 5-1 last year. He's got experience too. One of the few guys few goaltenders that actually plays in 2 consecutive years. Was 5-1 last year with a 9.21 save percentage. They won the bronze. They've only won 2 golds, Alex, but that's because, as I said with Cody, this is a team that will sweep the group stage. No problem. Look like a favorite. Hit the semifinals and choke. That's just their thing. And it's unfortunate because they've always had these talented teams. And, gosh, I loved the 2012 team was really good in itself, but go to each and every Swedish team and look. I'm like, wow, look at all these NHLers. How could they not win? They just don't win when it matters most. Will they be able to do it this year? I don't know. They're having some COVID issues themselves because Sweden, Alex, we joke about how the South here in the United States don't care about COVID. There is no restrictions on anything in Sweden. There is 0 rats given about COVID over there. So I want to know what they're going to do Oh, someone liked my post. Cool. A couple people liked our post. Nice. So I wonder if COVID's going to be... There's a lot of guys that are going to be out until next week, but they're still supposed to have enough players to play. So they may lose a game in this group stage, but they'll have the ability to get into the quarterfinals and qualify. Will they be a high seed this year? I don't know. But if they can beat this next team, the Americans, maybe. But here's the thing with the Americans. You have a very good back end. Cam York, Jake Sanderson leading the defense. Up front, you have guys like Johnny Beecher, who played last year. Cole Caulfield, Trevor Zegras. Cole Caulfield has been absolutely tearing it up with Wisconsin to start the year. The team may not have a great record, Alex, but the Badges have Cole Caulfield, both Caulfields actually, but Cole's looking really good, and they have arguably the best goaltending tandem in the tournament. You have Spencer Knight from Boston College, Mike Richter Award nominee last year, incredible year last year, had a couple great starts already start the year with the Eagles, and then if he's not good enough, Alex, you know what you can do? You can just play the CHL goaltender of the year, Dustin Wolf, Everett Silvertips. I have loved this kid since I first read about him. Like, this guy has it. Because you want to know who he backed up, Alex? You know who he backed up?
Who?
Carter Hart. I'd like to think that that's a good guy to learn from. The guy that pretty much almost won the Metro last year with the Flyers. Dustin Wolf was right behind him. Let me just make sure I said CHL goaltender of the year right. Hold on. Yeah, of the year. I don't have internet. Why am I even looking it up, Alex? Did it just stop connecting? Is that what happened?
I don't know. I've been having trouble with my internet, too.
Yep, we're going to go back to the route next week. Sorry. Like I said, sorry again, folks, that we're not live. I know you guys love seeing us live. Let me just see here. Search it for me. I'm connected back. Let's see. Last year was... Yep, Dustin Wolf. I was right. So 2 of the last 3 years you've had... No, 3 of the last 5 years you had Silvertips. Carter Hart won it twice, Dustin Wolf. So, pretty good tandem. And, of course, Alex, hey... Logan Stein, Ferris State boys, your third-string goaltender. That can't be bad, right? That's pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've never seen Logan Stein play. He was pretty good, though. I mean, when I was on the press conference, seemed like a nice kid.
Okay.
Pretty humble. But the U.S. looks good. For me, it's hard to not go Russia, United States. If Sweden's not 100% healthy, if they are healthy, Sweden takes the group because they just don't lose in the group stage. But if Russia can play at their game the entire group stage, it'll go Russia, U.S., Sweden. U.S., Sweden will be one or the other, depending on if Sweden's healthy. Because I feel like Sweden's got a lot more talent offensively than the United States do. I think they're deeper. But then at the same token, that goaltending. That's the thing that I keep looking at. I'm like, man, that is a great A goaltending duo with Knight and Wolf. Now, should I make my picks, Alex?
Sure.
Are you just saying that just because I just asked and you're just like, yes, let's do it?
Go for it. Make the picks. Who comes out of Group A? Top.
Russia. Wait, Canada.
Okay. Group
If they don't lose to Finland, and Finland doesn't go undefeated.
So Canada.
Canada
Group
and
E.
Russia. Canada and Russia will go 1-1. They'll finish the top of their groups. And I think Switzerland will stun someone in the quarterfinal if they don't finish 4th in Group A. If Switzerland finishes 3rd, I think they could stun AUS. And like I said, if Sweden can't get healthy, Alex, if they can't get their full lineup, they're not at full strength come the medal round, that may be a real big question mark. So I'm going to go with Cody Jansen, an easy one. Just have Russia and Canada in the final.
Okay. Who wins?
No.
You're going to say Russia.
No, I just don't want to say it because I'm going to say it and they're going to lose.
Fair.
It's just going to be like last year. I'm going to be sitting at...
Well, then at the very least, who wins bronze?
Finland.
I could see it.
Finland. Let's go for it. Because like I said, the Americans have, and that's what they've done the last couple of years, Alex. They lost to Finland in the quarters last year. Now, granted, they weren't nearly as strong, but they had Caulfield. They had talent. Yeah, you have a little bit more experienced talent this year, but I like to think that Finland can pull it out. All right. Now the fun part of the show is my ears are sweating. Holy cow. I had to take my headset off.
Yeah, you have a toque on. Not a real one, but kinda.
It's my Santa toque. Now for those that are watching us on YouTube, as I readjust it says Merry Christmas A on it. So very festive. Making sure it's kind of situated back again. All right. So Alex, let's have some fun here. Let's get to some Christmas cheer. You know, it's funny, Alex.
Beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
I actually downloaded a bunch of royalty-free Christmas music so we could play it coming out of our commercial breaks. But I can't even do that. But we can throw some music in the background, though, right?
Sure. Turn it down just a little bit.
Well, I want people to hear it, though.
Not too much.
That's true. Well,
It's background noise, not main track.
that's true. I feel like my hat is way off.
That's fine.
Fine.
Fine is a four-letter word that starts with F. Yes. Blah, blah, blah.
Starts with the letter F.
Okay, Tyler.
Just because we're not live does not mean you can say it. Don't
Fudge.
fool. No, fudge is 5 letters.
Tyler.
So we
Frick.
That's still 5 letters. How do you spell? You spell Frike? F-R-I-K.
Frick.
Firk. Marty Firk. That's only 3.
That's 3.
That's 3.
So, Christmas time is here on the Q
I didn't download that one because that one had royalties everywhere.
galore. So, which ones are we doing? Are we doing all of them?
Well, let's do the first couple
Okay.
because
All
and
I
then
want for Christmas is some hockey stuff.
So what we're gonna do to start off the first one because there's a third one we're not gonna say just in case we don't feel like doing it, but
I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like doing it. Please don't make me.
but it'll be funny. I'm gonna do it first if you keep that
It's
up.
gonna be cringeworthy.
It will be cringeworthy, 100%. So well, okay.
First one is, what should each team want for Christmas?
All right. What should each team? Well, we'll go for the sake of the fact that I'm not gonna pull up the entire list. You want to go alphabetical, Alex, or do you want to go?
I mean, we could go by division.
We'll go by division. What should each team want? Now, here's the thing. It's not just, oh, they need a fourth line center. They need a second pair defenseman. They need a goaltender. No, we're going to have some fun with it, Alex. We're going to give them actual gifts. Like you would give someone underneath the tree on Christmas Day. They pull it out and be like, oh, thank you for the new PS5. How'd you get it? I paid $7 million for it because at this point, everything in black market. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it, kind of more Christmassy.
Okay. So first, we'll start off with Calgary.
Come on, guest or guest host. It's Jar. You're
Sure, why not?
No. Anyways,
Start off with Calgary. Ty, what does Calgary get for Christmas?
Calgary gets. I should have thought about this some more.
I already got one.
You got one? How about you go first? Well, do we want to flip flop teams? No, actually, no. We'll go.
Let's flip flop teams. Flip flop teams.
No, actually, no. We'll
flip flop teams.
You go first.
I
You go
like
first.
it. I like it.
You go first, and I will pick after you. You go first.
If you can't think of a Calgary one in 5 seconds, you
go Calgary first. You go Calgary first.
Zach Cassing's head.
No, that you can't just chop a man. You can't put a bounty on a man's head. I just did.
For the record, you did say something you can put under a Christmas tree. And I
Okay.
think his head is just small enough. I mean,
Not
it's a pretty big one.
murder. Something that is legally allowed to purchase. Calgary, I would like. This is kind of soothing with the Christmas music.
Shut the hell up.
Christmas time for Calgary would feature, I believe, some hedge trimmers.
Some hedge trimmers.
Because I'm pretty sure for Calgary Flames fans out there that come playoff time, they'd like to kind of trim some of the roster so they can be a little more competitive in the playoffs. By that I mean, get rid of Johnny Gaudreau come playoff time.
I agree. I think they should also get hedge trimmers.
We can't do the same one.
So they can cut off Zach Cassing's head.
Woof. Flipping, oh gosh. Zombieland. Woody Harrelson. Just take a little off the top. Shink. All right, so I guess we'll do both. So Edmonton is the next one.
Okay.
Edmonton. It's a lot harder than I thought. Probably should have gone by each team. I should have probably thought of this in advance.
An Amazon gift card. Why?
Ooh.
So they don't have to pay for Connor McDavid's contract.
I would say an Amazon card, Alex, because we've given you every other gift you need. We can't give you anything more. Go buy your own stuff. There we go. See that? Yeah. Montreal. Montreal needs what they need, Alex, is a book of leadership for dummies. The book of leadership for dummies. Because, yeah, you have Shea Weber there, and he's the captain of your hockey club. But you need to go a little bit higher up the food chain, because clearly Jeff Molson's just saying, whatever you need, Mark, we'll give it to you. He needs to read that book, Alex, to figure out how to lead this team in the right direction, back to a Stanley Cup contender. The Book of Dummies for Montreal. Leadership book for dummies.
I think they need a vacation.
Oh.
To Edmonton.
Vacation to Edmonton.
To play in the bubble.
You can speak up a little bit louder, Alex.
I'm just being pleasant, being nice.
I don't want to turn up your mic anymore, though, because we need
It's fine. They need a vacation to Edmonton.
All right. What do we got next?
Ottawa.
The Ottawa Senators. What they need is a nice, old, seasoned table, a dining room table, to bring all the kids together so they could all be fed together, so they can all bond together, Alex. A nice big dining room table. So they can all sit around together, have all the youngsters, and not the kids' table, though, just a nice team table. Go with that. That was a very dumb one compared to Calgary and stuff like that.
Okay. Edmonton needs...
What? You mean Ottawa?
Excuse me. Ottawa.
Ottawa needs
a good bottle of wine.
Ooh.
Because they need to break up with their owner.
They need to give a bottle of wine to Eugene Melnyk, who has his own blog now. You see that?
Of course he does.
He's got his own website with a blog now. Trials of being an owner in the National Hockey League. Everyone hates you. Well, it's because you're a dirt.
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
The Toronto Maple Leafs. You know what they need, Alex?
What?
A joint savings account. Because they need to put all that money into something. They got to start taking money from these players and put it to good use. Maybe find a way to pay for someone else. And like, hey, everyone put some money in the pot here so we can find someone that can win this team in a Stanley Cup.
I think they need an air fryer.
An air fryer.
Yeah.
To cook
Just so they can they don't have to change their fatty eating lifestyle, but it's a little bit healthier. And by fatty, I mean you got a lot of fat. Your players are disease.
Yeah, it doesn't mean like they're out
Goes
of
right
shape.
to the hips.
Right to the hips. I'm trying to speaking like those nachos I had the other night. What's the next one? Vancouver?
Vancouver.
Ooh. Vancouver's easy though because they have listen.
You need makeup.
Greatest hits by Michael Bublé.
Yes. No. Yep.
No, the
Next one.
Not the great. No, because here's the thing. I'll be honest. I've never heard of Mike. I've heard one.
Yes, you have.
I've heard a couple. Okay. I couldn't name an album made by Michael Bublé. That's not Michael Bublé doing Christmas music. But I know a couple other songs.
NHL by Michael Bublé. It's just him singing the Canadian national anthem.
Did you see the Twitter video they did with him and Elias Pettersson were awkwardly singing Christmas carols to a hospital outside Vancouver?
That sounds dumb.
Pettersson he just didn't know what he was doing. Pettersson was in a sweater, and like a hockey sweater, and he just looked completely, utterly confused while he was there. Bublé's having a great time, singing and having a good time, trying to get Pettersson involved. Pettersson's like,
That's what
Santa
happened.
Claus is coming to town.
Have you seen a hockey interview? Oh, I mean, it's pretty good.
Listen, as much as I hate Jeremy Roenick, at least he was entertaining.
Sure.
And Darcy Tucker would have been interesting.
Oh, God.
Ty Domi would have been great.
Can we switch to doing every other? Because this is taking a while.
It's taking a while because we can't think of them. All right, so what do you want me to do? Do you want to take Winnipeg or you got one?
Let's do both. You take Winnipeg.
I'll take Winnipeg. Okay, Winnipeg needs because I had a couple of good ones for some teams, but not all of them, unfortunately. 31 teams is a lot. I can barely afford a family worth of gifts, let alone 31 people and 31 teams. Winnipeg needs you know what, Alex, they're in Winnipeg. It's kind of cold up there. Need a good foot and boot warmers. A good feet warmer and good hand warmer set. Okay. You want to know why? Because for some reason, Alex, they have those moments during the playoffs. They just go cold.
Ooh.
Need to stay warm. Need to stay hot. Maybe they take some of that heat from Calgary's fan base.
Okay.
Warm them up a little bit.
Okay.
There you go.
Next on the West.
I have Anaheim. I have one for Anaheim. Do
Oh, okay.
you have one for Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay. Anaheim needs a life raft. for John Gibson. Because that man is, no pun intended because he's in California, swimming with the Sharks every single night. He's all by himself trying to save this franchise. Dallas Eakins is like, I have Ricard Raquel and 95-year-old Ryan Getzlaf. Someone get us out of here. Give him a life raft. Anaheim Ducks.
Arizona Coyotes need an ox. They need someone to carry this team.
That's true.
Just drag this team into the playoffs.
I mean, Darcy Kemper?
They need another one.
They need 2 oxes.
They need 2.
They need some oxen. Need some oxen, the moose in. Colorado clearly needs a thermal first aid kit. Because mother of goodness, could they not keep their goaltenders healthy last year? Grubauer, Francois, yes, they both had coming out parties, but my goodness, when you're relying on Michael Hutchinson to get you to the Stanley Cup Finals, something's wrong, Alex. They needed a good first aid kit.
They didn't get the finals, but
No, I'm saying when they relied on him to try to get them to the finals. Because Francois and Grubauer were hurt in the same series. Los Angeles, Alex.
Los Angeles needs a Santa's marching band set. You know the one where they have all the bells and stuff?
Yep.
Because all the instruments that they have are broken.
Broken.
So they
broken.
need a new band.
They need a new set. Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
I was wondering how you're going to turn that one, but that was a good turn.
New band.
New band.
New band to play.
New band, new members, new toys. What's the next?
Minnesota.
The Minnesota Wild. What they need...
is a new blanket.
No, they don't need a new blanket. They need to get a new... Just, what really helps run a house, Alex?
Gas.
Gas. So you're telling me they need a new furnace. Because they need to figure out a way, what is this team? They want to just try to... Because clearly... They have this little... You talk about having new toys to play with Los Angeles. They need a new band. They need new instruments to try to become better. This team is relying on a furnace that's only flickering every so often, just kind of keeping it just warm enough up there, because it gets pretty cold in Minnesota, Alex. Just keeping it just warm enough. So they need a new furnace. And even, you're right, Alex, it need to break into it a little bit. It may take some time, a little bit of an adjustment, but eventually that furnace will be at full power. And maybe get that team past the first round.
The San Jose Sharks need to find the fountain of youth.
I was going to say that for another one, but okay, go ahead. Well, I mean,
That's it.
They're getting younger. They got rid of Thornton. They didn't sign Thornton.
They didn't get him.
They have Couture. They have some old players. Okay, I'll give San Jose the fountain of youth. Who do I got? St. Louis. Rocket Boosters, because damn, that team is slow.
Yeah.
Rocket Boosters for their skates.
They need new shoes.
They need new shoes. They need those light up shoes, man. They make everyone light up skates. Come on, get those custom skates in there. Make them go faster.
You know what Vegas needs?
What does Vegas need, Alex?
Therapy.
If you go, Alex, because if you're in Vegas,
gambling therapy. Obsessive gambling therapy.
Because clearly that team keeps rolling the dice, and they're at that craps table, Alex, thinking they're going to be able to win that big jackpot. Unfortunately, no, Alex, you know what it is? It is legitimately me, because you remember there was that one game at the Chuck E. Cheese where the line would go up and down, and there was that little spot you had to hit the button on the right time to get the grand prize? That was me. I kept putting my ticket in, my coins, and I'm like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the grand prize. Listen, I get it. Kelly McCrimmon should be the guy to do it, and they have this great team. That's just a team that's way too rich. Maybe they need a charity to donate some of that money to.
Maybe.
So they stop trying to spend it all. Now, do you want me to do Carolina? Or do you want Carolina?
I would like to do Carolina.
Okay, I'll take Chicago.
Carolina needs a cold can of Storm Brew. Why? Because if it ain't broke, why fix it?
They lost
Crack yourself up a can
in the first round.
of Storm Brew.
They lost in the first round. Yes, they won the qualifying round. They didn't even win. You need a bib for Christmas, clearly. So Alex is Carolina. Don't need to fix it, even though they didn't make it past the first round last year.
Chicago needs makeup.
Chicago needs some, more makeup to make that team look honestly good. Or they just need, you know what, Alex, you know what they need to do? What they need is a good stable ladder to get back to the top. A nice, big, long climbing ladder, because as of right now, they have a rickety old one right now. They got like Duncan Keith and Malcolm Subban, who's really not that consistent. They need a hard steel ladder to help get them settled down and climb them back to the top of prominence again, especially in a tough Central Division.
We need to hurry this up. I'm getting tired, and it is taking forever.
We're only we're at 2 hours.
Yeah. Columbus, they need a new cannon.
No, they do not need a new cannon.
What?
Why do they need a new cannon?
Because their power play sucks. Could be better. Need a new cannon.
The new cannon? Okay. They need a new cannon of a shot on the power play.
Go.
I'll give you that. What do I got?
Dallas.
Dallas. Can you do Detroit and I'll just do Dallas and Florida back and forth? Because I got Florida, but
Sure.
do Detroit because I got to think of Dallas here.
Detroit needs a new pair of socks.
A new pair of socks.
Yeah. So much static. So much. Yeah. There's no time to run.
That's the best you got for that one?
I don't know. They need a set of balloons because stuff's not popping.
There you go. Nothing's popping. So Dallas needs, what they need is a nice new well to find some good water because there's no depth with this team. There needs to be more. Build a well. Keep it outside, though. Don't be Buffalo Bill. Don't have one in your house. That's awkward.
I'd go with the submarine for that.
Yeah, but that's very expensive. And, we're under a cash crunch right now, Alex, and so I'm going to go down. So
Yeah, that's
Florida.
true. They didn't extend the cap. Yeah.
Florida just needs a new fencing. In order to keep unwanted intruders out, they need to get a new fence. Or mend it, fix the fence. Because obviously they have one that used to work, but unfortunately it's kind of gotten a little old and they just need to revamp it a little bit. Maybe put some fresh paint on it, make it wooden. Instead of this little kink fence, the metal fencing that just kind of falls apart if your dog runs into it enough times.
Chain link.
Chain link fence doesn't work. They needed a good hard wooden one. Revamp it a little bit. Make it better. Florida needs a new fence.
Okay.
Yep.
Nashville needs a new Wi-Fi router because they're slow and disconnected.
Ah, yes.
There you go.
Give you that one.
Gosh.
Tampa needs an accountant.
Yeah.
They need to go to our good friends at Greenleaf Trust here in Grand Rapids. Chuck works there. That's why I know it.
Okay.
They need an accountant because clearly no one's been counting money over there. They'd be like, here you go. Here's $5 million per year. Here's $6 million. Tyler Johnson, you don't need to give us any money. You're fine. Keep on going, man. You're great. You'll be here forever. An accountant for Tampa. Now, Boston was the team, Alex, that I was going to do the Fountain of Youth on. Just because they have a few old guys in the back end there. But you know what? You got to go with Boston. You can't use it, though. You can't use Fountain of Youth, though.
I was going to get him a new rototiller.
New rototiller.
Yeah. They need to make the garden bigger.
We went over this.
Buffalo, Ty.
Buffalo. Gosh. Probably looks weird on camera, me just sitting back here like this.
Could you? Oh, would have killed him.
That drought. Buffalo. Talk about needing a new fence in Florida. Jeez. Buffalo needs to. They need a plow. They need to push all this crap that's around their house and get it out of there. All this flack that just is sitting around and, they don't feel like shoveling because it's 10 feet high and it's wet. Awful. It snows every day. Get a plow. Get them a nice new steel plow and push it to someone else's yard. See, I saved it there. I had no idea where I was going with that one. I just thought snow in Buffalo. Not the Bills. Bills don't need it. They got that plow. Maybe they can loan it to the Sabres for a little bit.
You know who else needs a plow? New Jersey. Because it always seems like they get everyone else's crap. Am I wrong?
Okay. Hold on.
Am I wrong?
Is it just PK, though?
Dude, look at the past.
Okay, Wayne Simmons was a bad signing.
Taylor Hall.
Taylor Hall won the gosh darn Hart Trophy.
But was he good for the team?
Not after. Not after they started losing. Not after Corey Schneider couldn't win a gosh darn game in a calendar year. But
Last good player that they've ever had on their team that was not a goalie was Patrick Elias.
no, it was Taylor Hall. He won them. He got them to the playoffs.
No.
He won a Hart Trophy.
Nope.
Okay. You're wrong about that.
Islanders.
Well, unfortunately, a new house is off the market because they're already planning for a new one. A nice housewarming gift, Alex. You know what that would be? A basket of goodies. A basket that'll kind of
A cookie platter.
a good cookie platter because there's so much salt with that team. They're all bitter and sad. A little bit of cookies to sweeten them up a little bit. Give them some hot chocolate packets as well with the marshmallows in them. That always makes everyone happy. Doesn't that make you happy, Alex? Having marshmallows in your hot chocolate? Does it?
You know what the New York Rangers need?
New York Rangers. What do they need, Alex?
A coupon.
A coupon. A coupon. Not like the entertainment books we used to get. A singular coupon.
Single
coupon.
Single coupon
Single coupon.
to a construction company
Oh, dear God.
because they need a new place to live.
No, we are not doing this. We are not doing this. We are not doing the Madison Square Garden debate again. You get him a new gift. That one's getting returned and a gift receipt with store credit. Get him a new one.
Okay, different coupon
A different coupon, Alex.
to a gardening service because they need a new garden.
To kill him.
Okay. Philly.
See, no, really? Okay, fine. Philadelphia. What they need, Alex. I'm sweating my balls off over here. Philadelphia needs a lot of things, unfortunately. Despite, everything looking good on the outside of the house and everyone smiling on Christmas Day, a little bit of tough times for them, A lot of conflict, There's a lot of pressure from the neighborhood for them to be good, What they need is a good security system. ADT, Brinks, or whatever have you. Because eventually someone's going to lose their mind and try to break in and try to fix it. Maybe have, your own Hart insurance company. Carter Hart. They just need a better security system. They have a good front door blocking out the bad. That fence is well kept. They just need to make sure to keep all the bad, the negativity out that happens sometimes there in that town of Philadelphia. In West Philadelphia, born and raised. You wonder why he left? Pittsburgh.
They need Life Alert. An AARP membership.
Because as soon as they lose and start falling down, they are not getting up.
No.
I know I didn't mean to take your fire, but
No, it's okay. It's okay. You knew the joke was coming.
I knew it was coming.
Finally, Washington.
Goaltender? No, I know.
They need a new puppy.
They need a new. They have a cute puppy though. You've seen the Caps.
No, they need a new puppy.
Oh, they need a new puppy, right? Because he's a dog now.
Because
Yes.
Hank's out to pasture.
Wow! As the song ends. As the song ends.
Because Hank's out.
You're kidding me.
I would say I'm killing you, but I don't have to worry about that. Oh,
As the song ends.
hey, you think he comes back? He'll win the Hart Trophy. Oh, I'm terrible. Oh, I'm too good. Oh, that's a walk-off. Oh, that's a walk-off homer.
I can't end the show.
Oh, yeah, you can. That's a walk-off.
You're the host. You have to end the show. You have to do the whole sign-off and everything, Alex.
Make sure I get in frame here for this. Oh, here.
Yeah.
Here, I got this one.
What? Yeah. What are you doing? What's happening? Alex is walking to the front of the. Oh Lord. Okay. You can't even see him.
It's okay.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Oh Lord. Oh no.
Hold on. Let's do this as well. That way I can whisper. There we go.
Okay. You just.
Hi, everyone. I just want to make sure that you all have a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year from here at the Keel Show. For Tyler, I'm your host, Alex Keel. We'll see you next time.
Just
Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Goodbye, everyone.
Worst. Just the worst literally the worst. You are honestly the most embarrassing, unmitigated disaster. You're off camera, Alex. No one wants to see you anymore. Just the worst. The fact that I let you host today, the fact that I let you end the show, the fact of anything, it's just unbelievable. I can't believe it. The last time I'll ever let you do anything like that, come hell or high water, I swear.